Don't slow. Hey, it's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
I'm Ron Bennington. We opened the show with one of only two lead singers of all time who performed in a leotard. That's Ian Anderson. Of course, the other, Pat Benatar. It is the Bennington Show on a Friday. And it just, isn't it odd that we're ending the whole Winter Olympics?
I know, it's over. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the late night sleepy time of watching.
I thought Vito, I get these two so mixed up. So Vito lied to me when he said he was such a curling freak. But every day he's talking curling with us.
Mm-hmm.
I got Celebrity Big Brother came along, and I got more wrapped up in that than the Winter Olympics.
Bullshit.
So their plan worked on you, is what you're saying.
Celebrity Big Brother fucking took me.
Chris, what was it that you just said?
Bullshit.
Okay. Looks like somebody got caught in a lion game.
Looks like you're the Lion King over here.
Damn it.
The cowardly liar.
Fuck that.
That's his thing. No, it's good.
That's my catchphrase.
No, it's good. What he's doing is good.
And he was trying to say, if you listen, he's trying to say something other than bullshit, but he got lost halfway through and just went back to his old
I
trick.
think he said bullshit.
Bullshit.
Well, that was different because he whispered it that time.
No, it don't slow down. It is the Bennington Show on a Friday. What's coming up at 2 o'clock today, Chris?
Nikki Glazer
Bullshit.
That's true. That's true. Nikki Glazer unmasked.
Nikki Glazer, how I love him. I never see. I don't know whether Nikki Glazer was at Amy Schumer's wedding. I know they're close, but I don't know whether she made that scene.
I feel like, I think
she was there physically.
I saw a picture she put up that wasn't the same outfit everybody else was wearing. So I don't know if she put up like a TBT, like, I love this girl. She got married.
Oh. Did it look like it was in Hawaii?
Amy Schumer was wearing something different in the picture. That's why.
Yeah, but Amy Schumer had a couple costume changes.
Well, that also looks like it could have been the night before.
Yeah, that
she's wearing a ring. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Can I tell you something else? Amy, to back up, Amy holds a drink like a man. That's a mannish way of holding a cocktail.
She knows what she wants.
Yeah. I wonder why Nikki Glazer didn't use me as her +1. Now that we're on Mass Buddies. It's coming up at 2 today. Very funny. As a matter of fact, the people who were there that day have written to me since saying like how hilarious and amazing they thought she was.
Yeah, it's a really great unmasked, and it's fun because we're playing it all in celebration because her new show starts this Monday, correct?
Monday the 26th. You Up with Nikki Glazer on Comedy Central Radio, 10 a.m. East.
There is a question mark there.
Yes.
Okay. Because it's not in their logo.
I know, but it's intended. You Up?
No, if it's intended, we have a sign for that.
Yeah.
It's the question mark.
It's an implied question mark.
Isn't it funny when they had to come up with it? Like, we're really going to need something at the end of this to let you know what direction.
So to trail your voice up a little, so you sound unsure.
That's why they were saying that older people tend to put the dots, or is that ellipses?
Yeah.
They tend to put that in their text because they're trying to say, as I'm moving on or whatever, you know.
Yeah. That's interesting. I have noticed that I would say it is, an older generation. Yeah. And my pop would do the same in his emails.
Yes.
He was always a lot of ellipses between his thoughts to say.
Do any of you guys ever use ellipses?
No, unless
because you're not thinking conversational.
The only time I use it is like to imply that you know that I've said something and I'm not well about it. So
that's a mad thing.
Just like, dot, dot, dot. Like, you know what I mean? Like it. Like,
so if I get a dot, dot from you, it's like, fuck you.
Yeah, like you might think that it's like something like, not what I expect. There's a little emotion there.
Do you feel the need to write out something like harumph? You know what I mean?
No.
Like, do you go for, some people write that way?
I also, no, I don't like those things where they write out the sound or whatever. I also have one, and I apologize to anyone who does it because I know that you must, because I see so often someone out there, I know you do it, is instead of writing ha ha ha, they write ba ha ha ha.
A lot of people do that.
Like, I don't know why, but it irks me so much because the implication is that it laughing at you, and also that it took you off guard, like it like comes like out of your mouth. So it's a very an implied obnoxious laugh, to me, I take it very seriously, and I don't like it.
I'm laughing in your fat fucking face.
Yes, and it always.
I'll do that if somebody says they like a certain movie. If they write, I really like Black Panther, I write the baha. Like, oh, Vito, do you do anything that would be weird like that?
I like to write in caps when it's not needed sometimes.
Boy.
I
don't even know anybody who likes
that's aggressive. That. If somebody writes to me in caps on something, I literally feel like I'm being yelled at.
Just say stop yelling. The only time that I'll write in caps is if the first one is small case and I made a giant mistake. Don't slow down. How about you, Jen? I know you don't even answer emails or anything else.
It's usually emojis.
Really?
Like, I use a lot of emojis.
What are you, a child?
Or like now that you can like, someone, instead of like replying, you can just like it.
Oh,
I don't like that at all. Fuck you with that.
You can't even go like, oh, or oh, nice, or cool. It's just like, liked it.
On a text.
Yeah, it's like we've gone too far in laziness.
Now, there was an article earlier this week, Monday or Tuesday. I decided not even to bring it in, but this guy is sure that within 30 years language is done and we'll just be shifting this stuff to each other's brains through our technology.
Yeah,
so you'll just get my thoughts rather than me. No, I can't even understand. I'll be glad to be dead before that goes down.
Yeah, because I already feel it slipping away from me. Like, I see people learning to communicate in ways that I didn't know how to communicate when I was younger, so therefore I don't know how to do. Mm-hmm. So I could see that happening, and then the older generation just has to drop out because you're not going to learn that. You're not going to be comfortable.
Unless it just happens so quick.
I guess, yeah. But I get thrown when I saw a girl texting the other day, and she doesn't use like the regular system. It's like you slide your finger and it. Have you seen this? Where
I think doesn't your phone have
Samsung
that?
phones. I think have maybe Apple.
Samsung
doesn't
phones.
seem normal to me.
No.
Everybody owns one.
And if my keyboard was like that, I would say like I no longer can text because I know that I couldn't learn how to do that.
You do not want to learn the newer technologies.
Yeah.
At what age? Because I think it's like by 24. Where you're like past that point where you can catch on. Like that, it's like they don't look for programmers now that are in their mid 20s.
Right.
They look for ones that are 14, 15, 16.
I know I was in like my late 20s when somebody had said to me like, "Hey, my friend just like told me about this app. It's called Snapchat, and like let me show it to you." And this is before it like really hit. And he was like, "I'll put it on your phone, and then we can send each other videos, and then you could see other people's videos." And I was like, "Oh, I won't be joining you." And that's when I knew, like, the ship was sailed. I had grown to a point that people were going to start doing new things that I wasn't going to be.
But here is the thing: there's always technology that you will get later in life that feel like, "Oh, this is great and it's easy to use, and I didn't expect this coming." The guy who wrote the Black Hat and all that kind of stuff with.
Chuck Klosterman?
Thank you. Chuck Klosterman was writing about this. He was like, just imagine like people in the 1950s or 60s, their grandparents, right? They didn't know that they would be benefiting from air conditioning. You know what I mean? They were like,
right.
We didn't dream of air conditioning. And now our life is so great thanks to air conditioning. And we're able to live longer.
Right.
Because we're not sweating out and dying.
And that's going to be stuff like that involves probably AI or robotics that they're going to it is going to seem like, well, it would be unnatural for you to continue to do things without, just like it would be weird to say, I won't be around AC.
All right, so let's all take a moment. If you need to write down, we'll write down. But everyone come up with something they believe is going to be in the future that's going to make your old age much better. Okay? Your old age much better.
Okay.
I have mine, and I'm going to text it to myself rather than writing down.
We've learned about.
Did you know the other day I just found out that you could text to yourself? Like I could text my own fucking name and write myself like, "Hey, make sure you call Blowhard."
Wait, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. And I did that because I'm late calling Blowhard when I promised him I would call him like a week ago. When you have a friend in the hospital and you're like, "I'm very busy these next couple of days, but I will get in touch with you." And then like a week goes by and you go like this. Oh, fuck. I said to someone in the hospital, I'll get back to you, and I didn't. It's the lowest.
Yeah, that's not a great feeling.
All right. Does everybody got it? Yes. Everybody written down. I'm going to go to Jen first because I saw her make a negative face.
I'm still thinking.
I got time. The show is balancing on you.
I don't like what.
Good body.
Like anything, like technology.
No.
Like what's gonna make it's
like
gonna make your life
like
easier when you're an older person. What technology do you think is not invented yet?
Okay,
hasn't been invented
yet. Ooh.
Yeah, think of that Black Panther planet and how they had all kinds of good stuff there. And I'm gonna come back to Jen. Let's see if Vito's staring right at me. So let me go to Chris.
Oh, yes. I feel like, right, by the time, let's say I make it to the age 80, there will be like caretaker robots where I won't need a family or a wife or children or anything.
Oh my God, you're so sad.
They'll be able to take care of me and actually be friends
That
and shit.
sounds so nice, caretaker robots.
But they will look like human beings.
Why would they?
And then you could be just as mean to them if that was like your
you
child.
You can slap them like they were your own.
This isn't very good. I like soup, but I don't like this kind of soup.
Let me guess, you're leaving, right? Again.
That means you don't think you and your girlfriend are going to work out, or you think you're going to outlive her.
I'm just saying. No, the premise was
either way, he's a winner. All right, so robots. Jen still has nothing. But Vito is ready, so let's go to Gail.
Okay.
I
said memory recall.
Unbelievable. I had the same one.
Really?
Go ahead.
I think that is going to be, it's a struggle that makes people feel so out of touch with reality and the way they live if they're not able to recall things. And I think that having assistance to be able to recall things.
I'm going to go way further than you. I believe that there'll either be a drug or machine that you're going to be able to go back and relive the day as if it's happening now.
Oh my God, that would be...
make sure you pick the right day.
Right.
Don't pick a day that you had a car accident.
Yeah, you're going to have to do... But then you can visit that era and then the
No. You will be living in that day much like you were untrapped in time. Seeing, feeling, experiencing.
And then
because I've seen it, I know that there's places in your brain that you could tap, like with something.
Right.
That you could go back and just be like in 4th grade again, living that day.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't want to do that? I mean, for Chris, he gets to go back and have sex with 15 years old people and still only be in his 30s.
That never happened.
It did happen, Chris, and I can go right to your memory. Vito, I hate to say it, but you're on deck.
Okay. So I was on the phone with a plumber, and I had.
What's this got to do with this
I had
thing?
to describe something to him, and I was wishing I could send a smell.
How's that going to make your life easier?
Hold on. Hold on. This is just so personal to you. This is not about elderly people who are just needing to send smells to people all the time.
Imagine.
Does this thing... You're a fucking derailer.
Imagine you're an old person and you have a complaint and there's something wrong in your apartment and you're trying to call somebody for help.
That's all the time for old people, so that's going to be so annoying.
A gas leak, you can send the smell and a person will come and check the gas. There's so many...
Let me just say something. What I think the reason that this technology is bad, we literally can't even be trusted for men not to send dick pics. What are they going to do with the technology? They can send us smells.
Can I tell you something? Thank you, Jen, for admitting you had nothing. Vito pretended he did. Bullshit. And I went to person after person. You're going to change that to something good.
Because think about how good it would be for people who don't know, like, if there's a gas leak or if there's something rotting in your apartment.
But why is this better for elderly versus?
Because they don't want people coming to their house for no reason, so they can send
They're
the smell.
lonely. We just said
I've never had a smell problem in my home ever.
But what if you don't have, like,
I'm on the phone with my elderly parents every day, and they never say, I wish there was a device that could send you this smell. Just see if, Chris, are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Chris is
When
sick
are you going to
again.
get your lung taken a look at?
Tuesday.
What did they find on there? You said they found a giant mark?
It's like a brain cloud on your lung.
Scarring or something. Who knows?
Why would your lung be scarred?
I don't know. I mean, I smoke like a pack a day.
But
He's
you've
always
never
got that
been
knife
shot.
in his ear. You don't think that has something to do with it?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, I think the knife did this to me.
But send me the smell of your ear.
If only we were in the future.
You can send the smell of body fungus to a doctor.
The smell of body
or
fungus.
if your intestines, if you're having intestinal problems, you can send your doctor.
So by your,
yeah.
Can I just tell you something right now? I'm going to be honest with you. I have never said to a doctor, like, I think I might have a yeast infection, and then she said, "Let me have a smell," and let me. Oh yeah, that's what it is.
Vito, when you got nothing,
this is real.
No,
I
don't
think
stay
about
with
this-
it, bro. Cut it fucking loose.
Yeah, just say you're right, guys. That
You
was
got
not
me.
a good invention.
I made a mistake. And then you instead of being the butt of the joke, you'll be a fun guy.
You've never left your apartment and been like, "Oh man, this smells terrible. I wish I could tell somebody what this smells like."
No, I've
never
never.
once.
I would never force that.
I have words to explain. Spoiled.
Yeah, I go,
You know?
I should clean my fridge out. I need to take this garbage out. I don't want to send this to my family and friends.
I think about this constantly, and I wanted to share it with you guys.
Well, good. The second we get in the future, we're not talking. Because I don't want your ball stank being sent to me at 3 o'clock in the
I
morning.
would never send you my ball stink. That's a promise. When the
Stank.
He did say stank.
Stink or stank. I
Stank.
He said stank.
Stank makes it fun. All right. Again, Vito, your lack of knowledge filled with your determination to be understood, it creates nothing but problems for you. Gail, let's change the topic away from ball stank. What do you got going? Coming up, 2 o'clock.
Nikki Glazer unmasked 2 p.m.
Nikki Glazer, how I love her.
All right. So maybe it's just the stank conversation that made me think of it. But what to you is your feelings on, and this is a very polarizing topic, I feel.
Nazis?
Leftovers. Because some people are super pro leftovers and some people not so much.
As I sit here, I can't remember the last time I've had a leftover. And the idea of reheating food is kind of gnarly to me. Very gnarly. Like, I guess a cake is a leftover and that doesn't bother me.
Right.
But to have, like...
A baked good oftentimes, like a pie, again, that's
Yeah.
not really a problem. A cake, a cookie. You're not going to be like, I made these cookies
But
yesterday.
meatloaf and mashed potatoes, would I have that reheated the next day? The answer is simply no. Under no circumstances.
Yeah. Now, I think that you felt like that. I think my mom was similar to that.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, I think I was kind of raised with a kind of a no leftover policy. So when I have lived with people, when I've had roommates who were like super, like fridge filled with leftovers, it really freaked me out. Because I was
It's
like, I didn't.
having rotted meat in your fucking fridge. I mean, it's already cooked meat.
Yeah.
You're disgusting, dude. You fucking make me sick. P.U.
You know, I used to know this family who used to put out yesterday's leftovers with today's dinner. So it would
I'm
be
out.
like, okay, so think about
Bye,
this.
Everybody. Enjoy doing the show at 2 o'clock.
I just want you to think of a world where somebody prepares a lasagna, some garlic bread, and a salad, and then also put out meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and broccoli from yesterday filled the table. And then they do that every time. So the next day, that leftover
There's a pass of a
lasagna
torch all the time.
will be like there when they made some like.
By the way,
roasted
you
chicken.
came up with one of the few foods that kind of gets better the second day.
Lasagna. Yeah.
Because I don't know, it hardens or something.
Something happens. I think the flavor sets in.
Yeah.
You're right. A day old lasagna is not bad.
But day old steak,
No.
day old chicken.
Day old steak and day
I mean,
old
I can have
chickens.
some cold chicken.
Like
but-
a cold fried chicken.
Yeah.
Not like you don't want a cold roasted chicken.
Never.
A reheated wing is disgusting.
Ew,
It's
that
not
can't
that
be
bad.
done. No, a
I've
reheated.
reheated wings recently.
Oh, look who it is.
Bullshit.
The guy, wait, look. The guy who doesn't cook reheats his fucking diner food.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong? You don't cook.
I know
Make
I don't
fresh
cook.
fucking food. Why are you spending the time reheating, which is a good portion of what cooking is?
It's a lot of just heating. You're comfortable with the reheating. Why?
Now, I notice a lot of delivery boys like himself will keep a leftover. They'll have a leftover burger.
Yeah. You know,
Yes,
like
it
they're
was
like,
right.
if I have something like leftover Chinese food and I have it and I decide the next day, like, "Ugh, look, it's in there. I ordered too much. I'm going to eat it. I'm never having the experience I had yesterday.
Hell
I'm
no.
having a very, like, it almost like the grease settles in a different way. And if you put it on the microwave, it's just like something happens and everything's rubbery. Ugh.
Anyone who eats leftovers, let me just say a word to you,
What's that?
and then maybe you will understand how ridiculous it is. Has anyone ever had leftover breakfast? Oh, I'm going to reheat this pancake, these eggs, and bacon from earlier this
No,
morning.
that's really weird.
No one would do it, right?
No, I don't think anyone would do it.
No one on this planet would do it.
Like if you so here's the thing. You make breakfast, you make like 8 pieces of bacon, you have 2 pieces left over. Would you like save that bacon
The
and
answer
then
is no.
eat it the next day? Like, oh, I just had some of this fridge bacon left over.
Well, like a breakfast sausage. That's I think a little easier to go
No.
down.
No.
Like a leftover
No.
breakfast sausage.
No.
Just finish it.
See, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just, I don't get when people just don't finish like bacon. If there's like 2 or 3 pieces of bacon left, just fucking finish the bacon. It's not a lot of food.
Do me a favor. Send me the smell over and let me see what if it might have turned on you.
Smell these leftovers.
Oh, God.
No, I know
Smell
this.
this dead body. See how long you think it's been dead.
I know that people really like leftover pizza, but I do not. I never am happy to eat leftover pizza. And like it happens all the time. Like you stick the pizza in the fridge and you go, oh, maybe I'll eat this tomorrow or later.
Yeah.
And then you do. And I know there are tricks. Believe me, I know the tricks.
pan?
The pan. I do the pan. I'm a fan of it, but I still don't
I'm
think
a
you're.
fan of the pan. I think pizza is one of those things that you can overbuy. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Where, quite frankly, overbought Chinese food is not that expensive to check out and get new Chinese food.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I would learn that.
I
lesson.
see it more as cheapness than anything else.
Right.
Cheapness.
And I'm not to sound like such a princess about it, but I normally just kind of feel like if I ate something yesterday, even if you had it at the same quality level, I wouldn't want it because I ate that shit yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you had like a really great dinner the night before. Even if you could replicate that perfectly, like I would just be like, yeah, I had that yesterday. Now I'm ready to do something new.
You know what? That rarely bothers me. Like, if you're on the road, sometimes you'll have a cheeseburger for lunch 2 or 3 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that when you're home.
Right.
But when you're on the road, there's not a lot of eating options. I saw Jen just made a disgusting look.
3 days in a row.
Yeah.
I can
But-
eat a
but-
burger every day.
It's totally
But-
fine.
Huh?
It's totally fine.
But Jen, you're a vegan. You don't even know what you're eating from day to day. Like Jen's way of living would be more difficult to me.
It
If you
is.
said, "Hey, we're going to take a trip," I'd go, "I don't know if I can do that because I can't be away from my food source." Jen, what do you have for breakfast?
Usually a pastry or I eat like a parfait. Most of the time, like a pastry, like on the go.
On the go pastry, and then
Yeah.
lunch is what?
Usually,
This on this
I don't
keyboard.
eat lunch.
You don't have food.
I don't really eat lunch. I do dinner, but not lunch.
What's your dinner?
That
Lima
gets
beans?
complicated because I eat my mom's food and she's like, I have to make a steak and then I have to make like flounder or salmon, some sort of fish, and then like 2 sides.
So you put your mom through quite a bit.
I put her through a lot, yeah.
See, that's another thing is like it's a little tricky because we're also talking to 3 people who in various different ways don't cook.
Singles.
Because Jen's mom cooks, Vito's mom cooks, Chris orders.
Jen, you didn't learn to cook?
When I lived in Florida, I used to cook, but it would be like the basic, real basic.
make
Like I would
yourself
make
a
pasta or
parfait?
something.
Yeah, a very. I mean, it was bad.
Learn how to bake pastry.
When she said parfait, I'm like, have I even had one of those outside of a fucking weird cafeteria place? Yeah, these guys, none of you guys cook. You don't cook at all, Vito?
I'll make myself my own lunch a lot. But I don't.
What do you
No,
make for
you
lunch?
you have your mom's chicken all the time.
I know I do that myself sometimes on a George Foreman grill.
Why don't you just say you're dependent upon your mom?
I
like
90% of the time I'm dependent
So then,
on my mom. But
so 90% of those
On her
chickens
butt?
are hers.
no, on her butt.
Why do you depend on your mom's butt so much?
But I have an easy system. I got the Foreman grill, I got a food steamer, and that's all I need to cook.
You're horrific.
I mean, it's not
Just saying Foreman Grill, I'm so fucking
So
grossed out.
literally, he just said 2 things that involve 0 flavor. Because that's the point
Yes.
of the Foreman grill is like the fat runs off it, so it's no flavor.
Yeah.
And then a steamer is like you don't need to cook with fat. You're having steamed vegetables.
Mm. Well, or a steamed parfait.
I love steamed parfait.
Chris is really. If you
He's
could have
trying to
really
drive me-
saw
Yeah.
like the way he was
Dude,
doing that,
I could see that.
like in your peripheral, you
Yeah.
can just see how annoying he was just being.
I'm saying thinking to myself, he's trying to fuck with me. He looked like he was playing a lute behind me. Chris, big weekend for you heading to the Hudson Valley?
I'm not. I'll be in Brooklyn, New York.
Could you believe earlier this week we were in the 80s? It's just
I know.
Insane. And no wonder why everyone's dying of the bird flu. This is why.
This is hot bird flu.
All right. Chris, what's on your mind today?
Has there ever been a TV show that you were ashamed of liking so much? Like you felt bad. Like you watch it, you know it's not good, and then but
You
you're
mean
still
like
watching.
in real time? Like not like you could look back years before and go, what did I see in that show?
Like when you have a secret show, is what you're saying.
Exactly, a
that
secret
you
show.
don't really want people to know that you're
Yeah.
watching.
I mean, I would have to be watching something horrific for me to be. I'm just not embarrassed
Yeah.
for watching, I don't know, fucking a game show at 7:00 at night. Like, Jeopardy is embarrassing and Wheel of Fortune is embarrassing, but I don't give a fuck. I don't even watch them. I'm just saying.
Right.
I mean, you know how many people watch Wheel of Fortune every night? 19 million. More than I'm watching most TV shows.
Yeah.
And all those people are between the age 68 and 81. Charlie walked by. I'm still busting his balls about the Vikings. He's
Yeah.
taking it hard. He looked like he was going to fight me the other day.
Dude, you know that last night I had a dream that like we were gonna go watch Super Bowl, that we were watching the Super Bowl, and we were having a big Super Bowl party. Everyone who was watching the Super Bowl with us was there, plus also Bo Derek and her husband were both there, which was like, I don't know why they were there. We didn't seem to think it was weird.
You know what I would have said at that party? Wife swap!
But it was like everybody was dressed in Eagles gear. Like even Bo Derek looked so cute. She was
You
like
got
wearing...
weirdly obsessed with the seagull thing.
I know, it's true. Well, you know, it's the main point of conversation in my home.
Still?
Yeah. And then, like, so the game starts, and as it begins, I suddenly realize that I know that we're going to win the Super Bowl.
It would have been so much better day.
And I just I like turned to you guys, and I was like, guys, we're going to win. And everyone was just kind of being like, I hope so. And I was like, no, I know that we win. And I couldn't really figure out why I knew it. Like, it wasn't going.
That's tied in with that memory thing.
Yeah, like, I couldn't really explain why I knew. I just.
You know, Vito didn't even watch the Super Bowl.
What's your problem?
He was watching a Big Brother thing.
I was on the live feeds that night.
Oh my God, Vito!
I was wondering what they would be thinking if they were watching the Super Bowl. So.
Yeah.
Is that your show you're embarrassed to watch? Because
No,
it
I'm
should
pretty-
be.
I'm
Celebrity should. Big Brother should be.
I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah, let's hear yours, Chris, so we can set the table here.
So there's a Disney show. It's not on anymore. I called it in
Ew.
reruns.
Okay, I
No.
didn't know this was going to be a creep thing.
It's not a creep
Yeah.
thing. It's just the children. It's called Dog with a Blog.
That's why you're ashamed.
Yeah, because you're a pedo.
No, I'm not a pedo. It's just a kids show that I.
Pedo. It's pronounced pedo.
Oh,
I'm not
pedophile.
Do you fuck kids or dogs? Make up your
Oh my God!
Oh my God, he
Bullshit.
fucks puppies.
Puppies. Oh! You know the last 2 times that we wrote stuff down, Gail picked something that I had in my head.
That's
Yeah.
really strange.
I wonder if it's a DNA thing.
I know. And then we both just said about fucking puppies.
Yeah, we both
So,
have the fuck
same-
puppies thing in common. It's
we're
crazy.
related.
That shit crazy.
So there's like a hot girl on the
No,
show
there's
who's
just-
like
there's
14.
children, there's
Let's
parents.
take a look.
Let
at
me see Dog with a Blog, and I swear to God, if there's some cute little girl.
chubby
And a sh-
titties.
No.
Who,
Oh, I know why he's watching for Blake Michaels.
oh my God. Look at this little girl right here. That's the one. Who's Avery? That's
the
who it
little
is,
blonde?
isn't it? It's Avery. That's
I'm
your
not
fucking.
obsessed with the fucking children. It's a dog that talks and has a blog. All right, it's just a ridiculous concept that I watched all 3 seasons.
That'd be a good blog.
I mean, when did you see it? How old were you when you watched it?
Like 5 years ago.
Now
your
click.
pet stuff.
Now click Avery up there.
Remember when you
That's
and Eastside Dave were into some girl on?
Starts with a B. Shit.
Oh, I know, because you confessed to me this once, and it's disgusting. Boxy.
Boxy. That's it. Boxy.
Now this is the thing: when Chris had somebody that he could share his pet views with, he was way more open. But you feel very judged with this kind of description of the Bennington show.
Look. Boxy was just an internet star. People are.
She was
obsessed with-
underage.
before, and she was just an internet star. There are YouTube stars now all over the place.
What is that? Does not.
She was just
doesn't-
before that.
No,
This
that's
is the girl you like,
I
Avery?
This is
I like
Avery.
the dog Stan.
It's because you guys have the same name.
And also, it's kind of what brought me into it too.
Do you watch it with anyone?
I would watch it with my ex-girlfriend. I would make her watch it with me.
And you would be having sex while you're watching it?
Oh my
She'd be
God!
saying-
Did you call her Avery?
No, I didn't call her Avery. She'd be like, "Why are we watching this? It's a pretty good show. Give it a shot."
Oh my God! You're such a creep for Avery.
I'm not a creep for Avery.
You're a creep. You're a
Oh,
pedo. Why you always touching kids? You don't belong here.
This is a bad song for me.
Fucking kids tonight.
A man can't just watch a Disney show in peace.
No,
No,
honestly,
dude, not at
no.
all.
An adult man should
That's
not
like you
be.
going to the playground by yourself as a man. You go, why is everyone fucking with me here? All I'm doing is let my cock out for some air.
You also like the Cash Me Outside girl.
I don't like the cat.
You were
Yeah,
into the
you
Cash Me
did.
Outside.
No, I wasn't.
fucking
Do you
dirty with
remember
it.
there was a moment and somebody said, made a comment about the Cash Me Outside, and there was a photo and she was looking very breasty in the photo, and he went, and I shit you not, and he made a like that at a child's breasts.
Dude, I found out his Costa Rican girlfriend is only 13.
What?
Lies.
Oh my God!
Lies.
He sex trafficked her here. I don't know if that's how you use
Yeah.
the term.
He gave some penicillin to the family so that they could live.
Are you paying for her big 13th birthday party?
Oh
Motherfucker.
shit! I mean, we were
You
joking,
motherfucker.
but he was serious.
Looks like somebody got pwned.
Owned.
How's Leslie doing, huh?
Oh, she's fine. She's
What
of
does
age.
that mean?
Yeah, it's
Sure, you're
mom's
sleeping with your mother.
No.
Dude,
That's
you're
what he just
just
implied.
sick.
Come
That's what he
on.
just
At least-
implied. He said she's of age.
Chris,
Who's the creep now, Ron?
please stop it.
I'm like, Yeah, you know what? It upsets me because you always bring her up by name and like saying insults about it by name. I think that's not right. No. He shouldn't be able to do that. And fuck kids. It's like one or the other.
Don't go to HR.
Please go to HR about both these things.
Tell him about Avery, please. And Boxy.
Oh, Boxy
and
was just
Cash
a
Me Outside. How about that?
She goes by Bad Baby now.
Why?
Oh, that's
creepy.
That's a thing for you, right?
No, that's creepy.
Because she's a bad baby.
So, Vito, do you have any shows that you pet out to?
No.
I'm going to change my answer now that it's what's my pet my pet show.
You sent me that thing about Mr. Rogers, though. You're a person who still obsesses on Mr. Rogers.
Oh my God, that was like. Did you watch the video though?
Yeah,
I mean the audio. Oh my God, it's a heartbreak. I seriously cannot discuss Fred Rogers without crying.
Are you going to go to the Tom Hanks Fred Rogers?
I actually think that I might not because I know it's a guarantee that I'm going to cry for like 2.5 hours because I can't even talk about the real Fred Rogers, let alone
just
it
tell
dramatized.
the story about what this audio that you sent me.
Okay, so it is about the guy who plays
The officer.
The police officer in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So he had been asked to play a police officer by Mr. Rogers. He was kind of feeling like, I don't know if that's really...
And this was in 1968.
Right, exactly. If that's really what is that... Yeah,
this is the year Martin Luther King died.
Right, so his connotation of like the way he felt about police were so aggressive towards the black community, so he wasn't sure that he wanted to do it, but he said yes. And so he tells this story about how the first time he it realized what an impact the way Mr. Rogers was that he did this thing where it was supposed to be a hot day and Mr. Rogers had his feet like soaking in a pool. And then he asked the police officer, would you like to join me? And so he asked the police officer to sit with him. And then they both took off their shoes and put their feet in the pool. And at that time, the significance of a dark-skinned man and a light-skinned man sharing the same body of water together. And not only that, when he got up out of the pool, Mr. Rogers dried his feet for him. And it was just like this moment of him like really realizing like
kids could
see this and that he was going to be somebody who children could see as, you know, you don't have to be afraid if we're different. And then vice versa for young black children to see them interacting together. And he tells this insanely sweet story about how one day Mr. Rogers was ending his show and, you know, he does his like same spiel where he says, and I like you just the way you are. Yeah. But as he was saying it, you know, the actor was just off screen and he was looking at Mr. Rogers and he said when they were done with the take, were you talking to me when you said that? Like he felt like he was looking at him when he said, and he said, I've always been talking to you. I've been talking to you for years, but you only first heard me today. Get the fuck out of here, Fred Rogers.
Fred Rogers is like Jesus-y to people.
He is he's like a sweet Jesus.
You think those two were gay together?
Maybe, but you know, it doesn't take away from.
Oh no, I didn't say it taken away. It's just, I mean, still just for me.
The feet soaking. It's not even black and white. It's just man and man. It's what makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean that. And I do not have a foot fetish at all. At all. So, but it's weird that for years, like people would do like jokes about Mr. Rogers. And I met Mr. Rogers before. I go, Mr. Rogers, you know, he came and did my show in Florida. And I go, Mr. Rogers, what a pleasure to have you. He goes, please, Mr. Rogers is my dad. Call me Freddie.
I wouldn't have thought that he'd be comfortable with Mr. Rogers.
It was weird. That was his dad. I always say this, if somebody, like, do the thing where you go something to Mr. Bennington.
Oh, Mr. Bennington, can I get you a cup of water?
Hey, Mr. Bennington is my father. Call me Mr. Bennington also. Because I think I've earned that.
All right, Mr. Bennington.
That's my dad, the way you're saying it.
Okay.
Say it to Mr. Bennington the way I am.
And
Mr. Bennington.
And yes, Mr. Bennington will have that cup of water.
You know what? Make it 2. 1 for me and my dad.
And please address us both as Mr. Bennington.
But differently. It's the same name. But put more of an emphasis on Ben for me.
Mr. Bennington.
All right, easy, dude. We're just fucking around. It's not real. Jen, did you ever think of your technology yet? You've had plenty of time. Ped, what about you? Is there something... What you said? What did you say? Like a young scrotum? That's what you like in your mouth?
I don't think. No.
Please plug what we're doing at 2:00 today.
At 2 p.m., we will be playing Nikki Glazer Unmasked. That's 2 p.m., Nikki Glazer Unmasked. And her show, You Up with Nikki Glazer, that premieres Monday at 10 a.m. East on Comedy Central Radio.
You Up.
Could I also do a little plug?
Yeah, please do.
This Saturday, tomorrow, 6 p.m. East, Gail Meets Girls premieres Sarah Tolamash and Adrian Iapolucci.
Love them both.
Yes, and it's a very fun episode, and they're both very, very funny.
Look, I forgot to tell you guys this. I saw Joe List the other night. Unbelievable. I only said that's Sarah's husband.
Yes.
But I'm like, I'm looking at a fucking TV special, basically. So then Millhouse comes over and he says to me, do you remember the last time that you were here? And I go, absolutely not, Millhouse. And he said, you worked on the show with Joe List, and you said Joe List is ready for a Netflix special. And then a week ago, he got the call.
Oh,
and he
wow.
goes, I remember that completely. And I go, Millhouse, I don't even remember talking to you. Vita, we haven't given you a chance to get into your brain juices.
Yeah, me and Chris had the juice released. But you're all still filled with juice over there.
With juices.
No wheezing the juice, my friend.
Don't wheeze the juice.
No wheezing the juice. There's this commercial that plays during Knicks games and plays during all New York sports games that I can't stop watching.
You realize we're an international show. You just can't be doing local sports.
It's on YouTube, and you can Google it. It's called What Are You Meshuggah? And
oh, yeah. I know this
worst commercial I've ever seen.
It's the worst.
They leave outtakes in it.
I don't think I've seen this.
I've seen it during sports events, too. It's the Sixes, right? Is that what we're doing this on?
Yeah, I think it's Carmel Sixes.
Yeah. All right, just go ahead and play.
When it comes to reliable transportation, New Yorkers know there's only one real option.
What do you want, my sugar now? Real New Yorkers take Carmel.
What?
Why
is there no
taxi?
I know.
That's shot on a different kind of camera.
Why my sugar? True New Yorkers use Carmel.
This is again a different camera.
Yeah.
Different kind. It's like,
what are you, my sugar?
Don't you know real New Yorkers use Carmel?
Of course. What are you, Meshuggah?
oh my God, this is.
What are you, Meshuggah? Real New Yorkers use Carmel.
Don't be Meshuggah. Call the Carmel Easy number, book online, or download the Carmel app.
Holy shit. Now here's something.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Here's the thing about this commercial, that if you don't know the importance of editing, you can watch this commercial to go, you normally watch things and it feels flawless and smooth, and that's because someone edited it in a way that you like timing. The editing is so off.
The slow motion.
And it is so strange. I don't think I've seen anything like that in a long time, particularly something that would be on TV.
It's on TV. It's not just on the internet. That shit plays on TV.
What are you? Meshuggah? First of all,
it's like it actually is like a bad trip or something.
First of all, you take a Yiddish word said by Jews, and I read 5 black people in a row struggling with this word.
No.
The last guy even said Meshuggah.
He said,
I heard that. Meshuggah.
The one woman forgot her lines, and they just went, leave it in.
Like, why did they use this? God, there's nothing better than local commercials, though. They are really incredible. But
you would imagine in a place that has Madison Avenue, You don't need to be cheap. This isn't like Nebraska or something. There's plenty of people who can write copy here.
And millions of people see this. Like, this is...
Yeah, you're right. That is something kind of weird that you would think, like, our local commercials should be
just
better
as bad as anybody else's.
Like, that's just as bad as that, like, what's the famous one? The East Hills Mall commercial or whatever? It's just like...
Party hall?
No, this is like not in a New York commercial, but this is like a super bad commercial that was for just like a mall, like just for back to school sales. And I would put this on par.
Right, what's that?
East Hills for back to school. Denim haircut. Backpacks, come get your backpack.
Boots and pants and boots and pants.
New shoes. Get yourself an outfit. Denim.
Boots and pants and boots and pants.
Haircut. New shoes. So get yourself back to school with East Hills. Haircut. They couldn't find one person to sing.
Why were they for green screens? I feel like they could have shot at the mall.
What's weird is
they shot that for only $300. Boots and pants and boots and pants.
My favorite is the girl who's just like, backpack, come get your backpack. She's like a white girl who's just super gully for no reason.
Bloody old bandages.
I'm like, here's the thing that I want to know. Like, the director said to them, so this is going to be a musical thing. We cut you all together, but you're just going to make up your own? Like, there's no way people told them, here is how to sing this.
Boots and pants and boots and pants.
Haircuts. New shoes. So
now, maybe did they think to themselves, let's make this as bad as possible and everybody will remember us.
Maybe that was a possibility. But even the little girl who sings the intro can't sing. Like, they couldn't even get a kid from like the local choir. East Hills. Back to schools.
We've got coming up at 2:00 today.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. The Unmasked with Nikki Glazer, very, very funny comedian who was one of the like top of the game time for her right now. You know?
Yeah, this is very exciting. She's starting her new show at SiriusXM. I feel like maybe we could be like show friends. I don't know. Like,
she said this the other night when I saw her at the stand. She goes, "Yes," because I brought her up, and she goes, "Yes, I did have a TV show on Comedy Central. Now I have a radio show for Comedy Central, and next year I'm going to be running their social media." It really made me laugh hard. I don't like to say someone's sliding, but going from TV to radio, no, that's not the right way.
You don't want to be TV on the radio.
Oh, what a band, though, right? What a band.
One of the last ones. Like
yes, one of the last bands we had.
Like great rock bands to show up.
My only other band that I like, and they're still playing together, is the USC Trojan Marching Band.
They're great.
Bump, 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 bump. Toss. Don't tell me that you love me. Vito was telling me the other day, he says he hates Fleetwood Mac. Hates their guts.
Why?
I don't know. Just maybe the name.
Who's the worst person in Fleetwood Mac for you?
Stevie Nicks.
Really?
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. I never liked that she had that first name, Stevie.
Yeah, but that's not how you choose a rock star. I mean, Elton is a dumb name.
Elton's a great name.
So, do you like Christine McVie? Because at least her name is female.
The whole collective I really don't care for.
What about Mick Fleetwood?
He's on the list of people I don't like in that band.
Yeah, he's one of the people we just named. Seems like you don't like any of them.
I like your passionless hate that you have for the band.
I just fucking despise them.
Yes, I picked that up. Passionless hate. That's what I said. I hate them.
Their names. They stink.
I met Stevie Nicks years ago, and I said, "Welcome to the show, Stevie Nicks." She goes, "Hey, Stevie is my father. Call me Stephanie Nicks." All right, we got to take a break here, kids. But before we get to that, Chris Stanley has an impassioned plea about the Stand this weekend.
Ron Bennington will be at the Stand all this weekend. Go to thestandnyc.com for tickets, and he'll be there with Pete Lee.
Oh, boy.
Nikki Glazer.
Oh, you know her from the Unmasked today.
Paul Verzi.
Nice.
Love Paul.
Yamanika Saunders.
Yay.
My favorite.
Monroe Martin.
Woohoo.
And more.
Who's that?
Say who it is.
Who it is? Why are you being so secretive?
And that's Friday. Want to hear who's there on Saturday?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
All right, on Saturday it'll be Damian Lemon.
Oh, great.
Joe List.
Uh-huh.
Pete Lee.
Nice.
Nikki Glazer and Aaron Berg.
Oh, very fun.
Everybody loves Aaron Berg.
TheStandNYC.com for tickets.
All right, Chris. Right now, I'd like to take what I call a break. 2:00. It is Unmasked, and we shall be right back. Bennington. It's the Bennington Show, everybody, on a Friday. Coming up, Unmasked. Nikki Glazer. Nikki Glazer, Unmasked. I'm a big fan of hers, and her show starts Monday, over at Comedy Central.
Can't wait to have her here at the SiriusXM family.
Who's producing her show?
I don't know.
Noah.
Oh, yeah, Noah.
Oh, no, was Noah's, does that mean that they work for Comedy Central or?
They work for Viacom.
Really?
Yeah.
Not odd. That is odd. It's the Bennington Show on what science now tells us is a Friday. More Saturday. So Nikki Glazer Unmasked in about an hour away. So that should be fun. I was having this feeling. Kids, gather around quick. Let's suppose that we came up with a promotion and we could get SiriusXM behind it and Viacom behind it.
Okay.
Talk to Noah about this. If we did a celebrity comedy Big Brother, okay? How many cast members would we need on that show?
I mean, they're doing like 11 right now. I say 11's a good number.
Wow, that's almost too big for me. But this bit, I thought we would take a little time.
Okay.
Pick out who we would want to see on the show. Get Jen to come in here, too. And then we will all vote. So everybody gets to nominate who they want. But you have to have... Should you have a majority vote or at least... Yeah, a majority vote is all you need here.
And then we're going to come up with from our pot, our final group.
Or just know when we put somebody in, that means that they're in.
They're in officially.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. All right.
Now, are we saying that you could take this anywhere from open mics to the biggest stars?
I think that would be fun to do.
I'll just say this. I'm not just impressed with biggest stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to be able to get in first. Gail, you go first.
Ooh, I'm so excited to go first because I had a name that came to mind right away. I think that she would be great for the show.
I feel like you're stealing mine.
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
All right. She would be great for the show. I think she would be great at the gameplay. And I think she would be great for drama. That's the queen of mean, Lisa Lampanelli.
She would be great. She did some before. She did Donald Trump's show. And
I think that she would know how to sell it.
She was furious during that show.
I think she would know how to sell it. She would know how to dish it. But I think you would also see her in a position where, like, I think she would maybe shed some tears of frustration. I think she would be so much fun to watch.
All that happened on Donald Trump's show. Everything that you're saying happened on Donald Trump's show. And she did kind of steal that season. All right, you guys want to vote right now?
Let's vote.
Aye or nay? Lisa Lampanelli.
Aye.
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 Aye. All right.
Okay,
She
Lisa's
goes directly in.
Oh, my God. Thank God.
All right, that only leaves us 10 slots.
Oh, God.
Now, it's got to be somewhere around 6 women, 5 guys.
Yeah, you
5 women, 6 guys.
Someone there.
Now, also remember, we also have to think, especially as we go in, do you want too many of the same types? Like the fact that we took Lisa Lampanelli, normally we'd say Jeff Ross would be an easy, everybody would want him.
Right.
But now you're saying, are those two too close in
Too similar in
personalities?
style, too.
They would be stealing that same kind of
Interesting.
heat. Got to think that way. Jen.
I'm going with Yamanika because to me she's the most loyal and she's the realist and she'll bring drama.
That was the one that I had.
Oh
that
my
was
God.
my number one thing. She can lose it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, she would be amazing. She would be amazing on that show.
The other night, she introduced me. I was doing a set, and I came in, and she gave me just the greatest introduction. But then as I come up to the stage, she just took me and held me close till all the applause went down. And she was like, baby, I just love you so much. And then the other night, she goes on stage, and then she goes like this. Oh, shit, I just noticed my shirt's on backwards. And she goes, you know, it's an accident. I don't have a joke about it or anything. I have the fucking shirt on backwards. Fucking funny as hell. I vote yay for
Yay.
Yamanika.
Yay.
Yay.
All right, we're running. I mean, the two right off the bats. I didn't expect this.
We've already got 2 ladies, too.
2 explosive women.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to tell you something. Yamanika's the nicest person I've ever met. But even I realize she could explode at any time. Anytime. Vito, you look like an idiot if there's even a nay to yours, even one.
Every season has 2 kinds of characters. They have like the older guy in the house or older woman, and then they'll have the fun, crazy guy. I think 2 for 1, Bert Kreischer. Bert Kreischer, you get that guy who's going to be fun, want to hang out, have a good time, and you get the dude who's older than, well, it's going to be Celebrity Big Brother, so, but still, Bert Kreischer's perfect for comedy Celebrity Big Brother.
All right, here's my. First of all, I think Bert is on 100% of the time. You can see him on Periscope and everything else. We're not going to get anything new. Well, Bert is a known entity off stage as he is on.
Here's my only concern with Bert Kreischer, because it's a guaranteed entertainment, 100%, because you're going to see Bert Kreischer be Bert Kreischer. However, my only concern is I can't imagine Bert Kreischer playing the game because he seems like a dude who would want to be friends with everybody.
But look at Meta World Peace and what he's been doing.
Yes.
Nothing.
Boring.
Yeah,
but he's getting by.
Yeah,
Yes,
but we don't want that. Yeah, we want a fun cast who's going to play the. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I just feel like Bert Kreischer's going to be everyone's dude.
Bert Kreischer is a guy who's played behind the plate. He's a natural catcher. I think that he'll like the fun games that you play.
He'll be a comp beast.
But he will forget that you're supposed to be strategizing. I'm going to say my biggest thing is that we already know Bert. We're going to be introducing the world to Yamanika. And I think if we would have even got Yamanika first, I would have been tougher about bringing in the Queen of Mean. I'm going to vote nay on Bert Kreischer.
Nay on Bert Kreischer.
Fuck you,
That's
Chris.
it. All it takes is 2 nays.
Give me a reason, no, Chris, from you. Your own reason.
I think he would just blow up in the house. He's not playing.
That's his reason. Great.
What does that mean? He'll just
Vito,
blow up in the house.
I'm sorry what happened to you. I mean, I would have said yay, but, this is a majority.
I feel like I was just backdoored.
Well, I will say this. He'll just blow up in the house. No one saw. My biggest problem, Vito, is that Bert already lives like he's on the fucking feeds and has for years. He's a giant star because he lives a reality show lifestyle with his phone. I've watched him pack things. I've watched him play with his kids. I've seen him go through an airport in a Speedo. You know what I mean? I've seen.
He was doing Irish car bombs over the weekend.
Thank you. All right. Sorry, Vito.
It's okay.
So we said it only takes 2 nays. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, now before I throw this to you,
Yeah.
I want you to take your time because I got to think of someone myself.
Gotcha.
So go nice and slow. Set it up nice and...
So this person, I believe, would make the house ridiculously fun and would be great in the feeds and would get into it with other people. Mr. Todd Glass, I think, would be great.
Wow. I was not thinking you were going to say Todd Glass.
Not either. And
I'm very surprised at your...
Yeah. That's right.
I'm interested in this.
I think Todd Glass would be great in the house.
the thing about Todd that I find most is like he's the original social justice warrior, and he means it. He doesn't like seeing people picked on. He doesn't like to see immoral things happen. And it's a game that's set up for that. He might not be the best player because of that.
Yeah. You know what?
That's going to make him fun.
I'm going to throw in my vote first. I'm going to say yes to Todd Glass. I think this is very interesting. I would understand why anyone would say nay, but I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say yes to Todd Glass.
Thank you. Looks like I got my person in.
What is Jen? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Is this majority?
All you need is two nays.
Okay.
We'll
two nays with the other people, but you need 3 yeses.
Oh shit!
Before Jen goes,
yeah,
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Is
that just revenge, or you really don't think you'd be good for the show? You're pitching Jen right now.
Yeah, you've got to tell Jen why you think he wouldn't be good on the show.
Jen, look at the archetypes we got to fill on this show. Okay, look at the characters, the roles we have to fill. Okay.
Okay.
She's not
do you think Todd Glass can fit that archetype better than any other?
You didn't even give her the archetypes.
Yeah.
Just vote with your heart, Jen.
They're not making sense. Tell her where he needs to fit in. What we need.
What kind of people do we need?
We need. We need.
You don't know what you're saying.
You don't have shit, do you, Vito?
This is a spite vote.
He's going to blow up in the house. That's why I don't think you should put him in there.
Oh, he will blow up. It'll make for good TV.
That's my reason.
I notice this makes for bad radio. Jen, your vote.
I vote yes because I love a blow up. So I'm going to vote yes.
Todd Glass goes in.
So it's on the Ronnie B. Let me tell you something. I like what we're doing so far. Give me the cast so far.
So far, we have the Queen of Mean, Lisa Lampanelli, Yamanika Saunders, and Todd Glass, which is already a funny show.
It's a fucking great show.
That's a really fucking funny show.
Oh, so far, only Vito to get through with Bert Kreischer.
I got my next one's going to do well.
I think that we need somebody who can play the evil person, be manipulative, and be somewhat behind the scenes as well as striking when they need to strike.
Okay.
They have to be able to be slithering and then a quick strike. Like a rattlesnake. Louis J. Gomez.
Oh my God.
Come on, let's raise our hands. Yes, everybody.
First of all, it's 100% yes. And for both strategizing and comp beast. I think he might be a comp beast.
He says that, but I never see him wrestle. I've seen him. I've seen him on a skateboard, and I haven't been impressed. I'm like, I don't know if he's as athletic as he lets on.
I can already see his diary room footage. I can already see him talking to somebody being nice.
Make someone cry.
I can see him being nice to somebody, and then in the diary room being like, "I'm just fucking playing them. I don't care about them at all."
I feel like him and Yami are gonna brawl in there. Like they're gonna drive each other nuts.
Now, since all of us have got theirs in, there's 4 now. We're almost there. We should let Vito jump in.
I agree. That's a good idea.
At this point. Vito, not only did you fall apart with yours, but you could have moved Jen and you panic. You showed how bad you would be at the game.
That was a bad speech. If I was trying to get,
say point out the great players and who fits in. But and as many times I said, tell her the archetype. Tell her the archetype. You wouldn't do it.
If I was trying to win veto, I'd be going home right now. So, another person I think, great addition to the house, smart guy, doesn't mind ruffling some feathers. Ari Shaffir.
Absolutely not.
Now this just feels personal.
And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I don't know whether you've ever been around Ari, but his way of playing a game is to destroy the game. He's not a gamer.
Yeah.
He's a person who makes fun of games. All right? He would never be in an improv thing.
Yeah, he would kind of feel like above it. I can't see him like putting on a tutu and bowling.
Not going to do it.
You need a person who's at the level who is like, I'd be willing to do that to be on TV.
I feel like it's fun.
And I think that he would have a moral problem with doing something like that.
So you're saying no?
I'm saying no, but I think Ari would say no. I think we could offer it to him and he would say no.
I'm willing to be persuaded either way. You can only get 2 no votes. Let's let Chris go, though.
No way is Ari Shaffir getting in that house.
He just said
I was leaning towards. So, Vito, you missed that one, buddy.
Yeah, but I have to remember that I'm going to have a automatic no vote every time from Chris.
No, just make a good argument.
You didn't make a good argument, and we did make an argument that Ari's not a game player.
But I mean, I've seen Ari do stuff where
it's already over.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you've never seen him in a Big Brother house. Even when he did on Mass, he took his dick out and pissed into a cup.
I mean, that could be a competition.
This man?
Oh, boy. No one even said. Chris Stanley, would you like to jump in now?
Would love to.
Yeah.
This man is a friend of Ari Shaffir's, and I think he would be fantastic in the house. I think he would adapt to the house very well, and everyone would end up loving him. Duncan Trussell.
I'm going to let Vito go first. Duncan Trussell, one of my favorites of all time, really well thought out guy.
I'm going to say no, because if you're going to say Ari Shaffir wouldn't want to be a part of something like this, Duncan Trussell would never want to be part of something like Big Brother.
And I counter Duncan Trussell that knew nothing about football, yet ended up loving the Highlander contest because he was part of it. Because he jumped into it.
But that's playing a game. That's once a week you pick a game. This isn't living in a fucking house, being on TV, and like we just said, putting on tutus to be ballerina games.
Duncan would love that.
That's your argument back. Duncan would love that.
You can't be moved. You're definite no.
No, because if he's going to exactly what the point about Ari Shaffir is, I think Duncan Trussell fits into that same thing.
But are you looking out for the good of the game, or are you about yourself right now?
No, I'm looking out for the good of the game. I think
So you now realize that Ari was a bad choice for you.
You guys pointed out that Ari was a bad choice, and seeing what you said about that, I think Duncan falls into the same spot.
All right, Jen, I'm going to let you jump into this.
This is so intense.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been. Should have been fun. This should have been a fun throwaway bit.
But instead, it's brother against brother.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with another woman.
No, wait, hold on. You're voting.
Yeah, you've got to vote on.
Do we even get you to pay attention to what's happening?
I thought we threw away Duncan.
No,
so it's up to you. You can throw him away.
I'm a throwaway Duncan.
Oh, come on. She's just in cahoots with Vito.
No, she voted against me seconds ago.
I just see no unity between the three of them. I feel like we could team up. But this is
final two. We're final two.
The Benningtons have never teamed up in the history of this game.
No one would ever imagine the two of us would have a side deal. By the way, can you at least admit that this year stinks, Celebrity Big Brother?
Yeah, I'm losing interest in it more and more because as I watch it, I realize that they don't care that
they don't care.
Like when I was watching the wall competition, I just realized how unimportant it all was to them.
Yeah, it means nothing.
Because they were going to know that they were going to be on slop for 24 hours and they were going to be allowed to put whatever condiments in it that they would,
including shrimp.
I heard somebody say, "Oh, if you add avocado to it, it's good." Well, then why can't you just sit there and eat an avocado?
The whole topping thing started last year because fucking Cody figured out you could add protein powder into slop, and people were like, "Ooh, like we can make slop more tasteful."
Oh, this is a dull conversation. Jen, your turn now.
Oh, okay. So I'm putting in my
Yeah.
I'm going with a woman who seems very smart, and I feel like she would get along with everybody, but at the same time, I feel like she could be manipulative. Rachel Feinstein.
Ooh,
That's a really interesting dark horse.
I think that's very interesting. Also, Rachel's very foxy. You always need
I like
a little,
the sexy,
like they always have a foxy lady.
She could
in
get
there.
along with the boys and the girls. She can.
Yes, but she could do some dirt.
Also willing to date black, and you don't always see that.
That's big in the house. Yeah. That's a veto.
I'm very interested in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to throw my vote in, and I'm going to say yes to Rachel Feinstein.
I'm 100% yes.
Yes.
And I never would have thought of it. You said yes?
I said yes. I mean, it's...
Wow, unanimous? Yes,
Yes.
And that's exciting. We find picking the girls, I think, a little bit easier than the guys. All right.
Whose turn is it? Mine or yours?
Either way.
You go.
All right. So this one is going to be maybe a little controversial. I'm willing to take notes on this, but I'm going to throw it out there because I want to make a big move here.
Okay.
This person is guaranteed entertainment. This person, I think, will both have fun with it, but also take it way too seriously at times, which I think could be very funny. Explosive personality, is going to obviously get into arguments with people. I'm throwing in a Cat Williams.
Yes. 100% yes. At 100% that he steals the season. I wouldn't care if I just watched his show with Cat Williams in a house by himself.
In the Big Brother house alone.
Everything that Cat Williams has ever done has entertained me.
He's so entertaining. And I'm just thinking of him interacting with the cast we already have so far, and I'm laughing.
Anybody else? We're voting.
Yes. I think
no one against Cat.
I think he would be wanting. I think the money would even be a factor to him, where he'd be wanting that prize.
Also, as much as we all like him, a lot of American is going to think that he's the bad guy.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because he might hit somebody. He might hit one of the women.
He might do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like he actually might go out be one of the people who like Big Brother actually has to forcibly remove.
Yeah.
Like, he might be that person. Cat Williams got to do what Cat Williams got to do. So now we have 3 guys, 3 girls.
3 guys, 3 girls, and we're going for 11.
Mm-hmm.
We're only just about halfway here. I'm going to pick out somebody who America will fall in love with because of the struggle and also is hilarious. Also a way better athlete than people even know. So could end up being a comp beast, but is also going to bring some sadness and brokenheartedness into this. I'm picking the guy who stole Crashing, Artie Lang.
Wow. Oh man, that would be so great. I'm just thinking of like talks by the pool. You know what I mean? Like just hanging out with Artie Lang. Like those moments will be the best with
That
Artie.
would be the
Lang.
funny, and there's always that opportunity of we can't wake up Artie. Oh my God, is he okay?
I would. I think that Artie's also a person that everybody would try to get into their alliance.
Well, they
Like,
won't take him seriously enough, and then they're going to be like, "Oh shit, I don't have the votes to beat Artie Lang." As you get to the end of this,
Right, and then they might turn on him for that reason.
Well, I think he's going to sneak through before you have a chance. And you're going to get to that last thing, and he's just going to be hanging on the fucking wall and be like, Baba Boy came in, and Howard was there, and Howard had the funniest line that day. All right, vote.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm saying yay. All right.
Now, are we back to veto?
We're back to veto.
All right. Do you want me to hear? Do you want to hear who we have? So we have Lisa Lampanelli, Yamanika Saunders, Todd Glass, Louis J. Gomez, Rachel Feinstein, Cat Williams, and Artie Lang. So that's 7 in the house right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this person does improv, is not afraid to get embarrassed, is a lovable person, Sal Volcano. Now think about Impractical Jokers. It's based around they challenge each other. There's hard things they have to do at the end where they have to wear a silly costume or do something scary. I think he would be a surprising comp beast. And I think
not to me. I mean, I have a feeling that he's very athletic.
And I think everybody would get along with him. But I think because of that competitive nature you'll see on Impractical Jokers sometime, he'll be just as competitive in the house.
Too competitive, though? I mean, are we going to be getting and too nice of a guy?
I feel like he'll be too comfortable in the house.
Why would he be too comfortable in the house?
Because he lives his life on Impractical Jokers.
So what's your vote, Chris?
My vote is nay.
He lives his life on everybody.
He lives his life like there's no tomorrow.
Oh, really?
We're talking about other people.
Is on True TV.
We're also talking about people who are on TV, though. Like, it's Cat Williams lives his life on TMZ, and
not really. Not lives his life on it.
He's been arrested a couple of times, sure. He doesn't want that.
Jen, are you a yes or?
I'm a yes.
You're a yes.
Yeah,
Great.
I'm going to throw mine in, and I'm going to say yes to Sal. So you need to get two. You need to get one more yes.
Sal's perfect. I just feel like in personality, he's too close to Artie Lang. So I'm sorry, I have to give it a no.
Oh, no.
Too bad, Vito.
Whose turn is it now? Back to Jen?
Back to Jen.
Yeah, let's go to Jen now.
Okay. I feel like we need some eye candy in this.
Oh, I love it. I
love it.
Okay. And I feel like, he has a Harvard degree. I'm going with Colin Jost.
Oh, Colin Jost.
I feel like
and the thing is like you don't feel like all the people that we have and are probably just been with each other before and interacted.
He's like
Colin Jost is a wild card.
Could be like an outsider of the group.
I see him being like the cocky fun villain, like the Dr. Will type, where you love the tricky shit he's up to.
Do you think that he'll really want to win, Bat?
I think he'll really want to win, and I think he'll have that snarky, like
I'm better than you, even though I'm from Staten Island.
Exactly, and I think that's he'll be the Dr. Will type.
Okay,
so I'm with you.
I'm interested in this idea. I wouldn't have thought it. I wouldn't have picked it originally, but I think because he's so different than everybody else, I'm gonna say yes to it.
I think for the reason that you wouldn't have picked him up front, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I just feel like he's so established that it doesn't matter to him whether he wins or loses. And when I heard eye candy, I really thought it was a woman. So, Chris, you have the opportunity to put Jost in or yank him out. It really comes down to you.
I'm going to say no.
Wow. Oh, my
I feel
God.
like he'll look down on the game and not really participate.
Interesting. It seems like he just doesn't want Jen to have her eye candy.
Yeah. And his answer meant nothing. I mean, the guy's from Staten Island. Chris Stanley, your turn.
I'm going to tell you right now, this person will win America's favorite player. The whole country will fall in love with him. Ron Funches in that house will be gigantic.
Bunches of punches.
Vito, you first.
I'm going to say no. I don't think Ron Funches is a gamer. I don't think he's going to go in there. I don't think he's going to kill to win. I think he will be, like you saying, he'll win America's favorite player. Yeah. That doesn't mean a lot here. But James was America's favorite player one year.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
So if
no, not the following year. Following year we hated him.
If you're just picking somebody who's going to try to win America's favorite player, I don't want to see your vote.
He is a very sweet guy.
Mm-hmm.
But is he a gamer? Is he a player? Is he somebody who would even run if it came up?
I'm going to throw my vote in. I'm going to say yes because I feel like there is something that is like kind of aggressive about a lot of these personalities. Like they have aggressive humor. I feel like Ron Funches does not have that. And I think that that's also can be a strong person in the house. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes.
Thank you, Gail.
To Ron Funches.
Jen.
I say yes because I feel like he'll align with the other black people. I feel like if he's black,
him and Cat Williams.
They have nothing in common.
Black girl magic.
Yami.
We didn't notice how black this was until you brought it up. You should have kept this on the DL. You might have just caused funches. I got to tell you, I don't want a race war to take place in there. And based on that, I'm going to turn my back on Ron Funches.
No to punches.
Damn it. Oh my God. So
everything
funny.
is race with you, Jen. It really is odd.
It's either eye candy or race. Eye candy or race.
Gail, your turn.
All right. I am going to throw in a personality that I think just them reacting to the other the other personalities in the house will be entertainment enough. I think that he is different enough. And I think especially his politics are different enough that it could be very funny. You always need this type of guy in the house. Give me a Nick DiPaolo in the house, in the Big Brother house.
Holy shit. Talk about a wild card. I did not see that coming. I'm just going to say yes, and I'm stunned by how fucking funny it's going to hit for Nick to turn this into high school in no time at all. Who are the other people in the thing?
All right, so right now of the women we have Lisa Lampanelli, Yamanika Saunders, and Rachel Feinstein. The gentlemen, Todd Glass, Louis J. Gomez, Kat Williams, and Artie Lang.
Fucking going to be hilarious. Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
Nick DiPaolo.
I'm going to say yes. He's a former athlete. I think he's going to go in there and fucking crush.
Why are you saying former? You're trying to hurt his feelings?
No, I just mean he played college sport. I'm just saying
he's in excellent physical condition to this day.
Okay, it wasn't a negative. This was a positive.
I came in here one night not too long ago, and he did 30 deep knee bends.
Oh my God.
With his hands. Jen?
I had him on my list, so yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was on
nice.
my dream list.
Is that eye candy?
No, not eye candy.
Is that it? Oh, we got 3? Yeah, that's enough.
That's
to
it.
put DiPaolo
Nick
in. That was
DiPaolo
a
is in.
shocker. I'm going to throw in somebody that if you're watching the show, you're going to, the first week, you'll be like, oh, it's this person's show, huh? And yet he'll either be forced out or voted out week 1. But that week will have laughter, tears, screaming, borderline legal situation. TJ Miller.
Oh my God.
Yes.
TJ Miller would be like that person that everyone at home would be like, please don't vote out TJ Miller.
Right.
We're enjoying the chaos he's created.
The house will be surprised that he's America's player. You ever see years where they're like, they thought that they were the good person and the other one were evil, and then they find out from America? Mm-hmm. Well, it just happened, what, last year?
Yeah, Cody won. And
yeah.
I forgot who was the most angry about it. There was somebody that thought they were winning. Oh, Raven just stared like.
Raven was a psycho. Anybody against TJ?
No, that's a perfect pick right there.
How many we got now?
All right, so I think we have 9.
Do we have enough women? Do we have enough?
5, 6, 7. Yeah, we have 9.
And how many men and how many women do we have?
We only have of that 3 women. So we could use more women.
The next 2 have to be women. We got to do a 6 and 5.
Okay.
And quite frankly, even though we didn't put him on punches, we have plenty of blacks compared to where they normally are. I mean, this year they had 3 blacks and the place went crazy and acted like it was the blackest show they've ever seen. So we need women. Everybody remember this. And there's only 2 slots left. Only 2 slots left. You know what? Vito hasn't gotten anybody in yet.
Yes.
And he is the guy that's supposed to be our Big Brother guy. You do the podcast. Come on, Vito, give us one.
She's not afraid to speak her mind. She's not afraid to, go out there and do her thing.
Wait, hold on. She's not afraid.
I
to
know.
Speak her mind.
I got lost there.
Dude, you should be so much better at this.
I think it's in my head that I'm fucking on a cold streak.
Why?
Lisa Traeger.
Wow. Chris, what are you thinking about Lisa Traeger?
I'm thinking nay for Lisa Traeger.
He can't even lie. He can't even pretend like it's not personal.
Is there a reason?
Nay.
Yeah.
Look, and she's not going to have any weed in there. She's not going to be herself. She doesn't want to be in that house. It would be bad.
We haven't seen Lisa in a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
It's been a minute. But you're definitely knowing that. Jen, what about you?
I feel like we have a lot of strong personality women in here. So no.
Okay.
Because to me, she's...
That ended it. I had her as a definite. Cause
I was going to say yes. Sorry.
So you want... Sorry, Vito. All right, Jen, I'm curious that you think that there's a type that's missing.
Yeah.
You've done very, very well.
Yeah.
Until you brought up that the blacks were going to stand together as one. This also makes me think that Jen would be very good in casting, in the casting business.
It's exciting.
Yeah. What do you got for us?
I feel like we need somebody who everyone's going to be sympathetic towards.
Right.
Okay.
That's why I'm going with Emily Tarver.
Interesting. Yeah, she's got a different thing going about her. She's
very
different. Yeah.
Yeah. She's done TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Great voice.
And I don't want to say that she's cucked Pete Lee, but they never can seem to stay together. And they're out on their outs now. Where you go?
I'm still deciding. It's tricky because I'm trying to think of her personality in the house.
I'll say this: she's not a pure stand-up, though.
Yeah,
she's not doing stand-up now.
Another thing that I was like, are we open to just comedy and because she's been acting a lot? She's on Orange Is the New Black.
I'm going to say no, just because of the pure stand-up. Vito?
I'm not gonna go against you, even though I fucking am really annoyed with you right now. But yeah, I think she would be good because she is. She's very confident. The way she carries herself would be good.
Chris?
Nay to Emily.
She fucking.
All right, Chris. I know we've got an unmasked coming up.
Yeah.
In just a minute. Who you got for?
This is a slam dunk.
Yeah.
This comedian has prior reality show experience. The wife of Mr. Tom Segura, Christina P.
Holy shit.
She goes in there. She can win the whole thing.
And compies.
Yeah.
I think she could be a compies.
I'm 100% yes.
Yeah, that's really good.
I'll tell you something else. I think she could use the time to get away from Tom and that baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some her time.
Christina P. Very interesting choice. I like it.
I never even bring this up, but I really did first fall in love with her on Road Rules. And couldn't believe that when she started doing stand-up. And that was, long before her and Tom got together. She's honestly one of my favorite fucking people in the world.
Yeah, that's a great... I'm going to give it a yes. Christina P. is a yes for me.
And I wouldn't have come up with that one. That was great. All right, only one person left. Gail B., can you pick the last whoa man?
Okay, I'm really crossing my fingers on this one that you guys agree. I think that every season it is a benefit to Big Brother to have at least one super fan. And I think that when somebody knows the game, they have an edge on other people, particularly if they can keep that quiet. I am throwing in Amy Miller. Big Brother superfan.
She's also a great personality. Really good about... I have the feeling that she's very good at somebody's got to be out. You know what I mean? Like, come on in here. Do you see what Nick DiPaolo's been saying about everybody?
I think she would really know how to
Don't
manipulate.
you think Cat Williams is a little scary?
I think that she also would be very slick with making alliances or teaming up with somebody that people wouldn't suspect. You know what I mean? Like, I think that she would be able to manipulate that very well.
Let me look over this thing, because I also think that she probably would be a great showmance with either Artie Lang, TJ Miller, or Louis J. Gomez.
I would like the idea of TJ Miller, because then she wouldn't have to change her last name. And, that's just bad for show business.
Right. And I already know that Rachel Feinstein and Cat Williams are going to hook up together. I'm a voting yes. Yes on Amy Miller. Let's go to the automatic no. Chris Stanley.
Yay to Amy.
Oh, my God. I'm shocked.
Let's take it to Vito Calise. Vito, how many of your picks have gotten in?
0 of them.
There's 11 people in this.
0 people. One person in particular kept going against me, but that's their agenda. I'm going to say yes to Amy Miller.
Oh!
We text about Big Brother a lot.
Amy, what you want to do? All right, read off the list.
All right, so this is our final list. We have Queen of Mean, Lisa Lampanelli, Yamanika Saunders, Todd Glass, Louis J. Gomez, Rachel Feinstein, Cat Williams, Artie Lang, Nick DiPaolo, TJ Miller, Christina P., and Amy Miller.
Wow, that's a really, really good lineup. We're gonna do a lot of money. Now, Nikki Glaser Unmasked is coming up next. You Up with Nikki Glaser premieres this Monday at 10 a.m. I don't see a question mark on there, so is that you up? Like,
Yeah.
Are you awake? Or is it you up
I think
with Nikki Glaser?
I think it is a question mark. It's got to be, as in, you up?
You up?
Like
You
the
up?
You Up text.
Yeah. That's coming up. Premieres Monday. That's this Monday at 10 o'clock. But when we come back, and this was a great Unmasked.
It was such a great one. And I think that this one, you had such a fun rapport with her, too. Like,
Yeah.
it was just really, really funny.
I just get the biggest kick out of her. I just like her very much. All right, that's Nikki Glaser Unmasked coming up next. This is Bennington. Nikki Glaser! Yes!
Thank you. Why are you here? No, thank you for being here. This is so nice.
Well, this is a kind of a cool time because you're joining us here at Sirius XM, right?
I am.
Radio.
Because I'm getting older and I don't want to do hair and makeup anymore. And it's a medium in which you can age as a woman.
That is true, is that no one cares how you look, which will affect the rest of your career.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It really is nice. I think so much time for women is wasted in this industry, being in hair and makeup, just sitting and having someone touch your face and not being able to read a script or not being able to write jokes and like to prepare for whatever you're about to do on TV.
Right.
Whereas the men get to just have a little bit of dusting of powder and they can be writing jokes the whole time. It holds us back having to be in hair and makeup. Thank God for it, but
also not having the cameras there, you don't have to worry how you're sitting.
Yes.
Or what, you know what I mean? Like the thought of doing TV, it takes so much longer.
There's so much prep that goes into TV.
Right.
Radio is a dream.
Yeah.
And so this was like getting this radio show was. I feel like I manifested it. Like I just like 6 months ago, I was just like, I want to do radio. I've done it enough on the road. I enjoy doing podcasts. Every time I'm on a show, I just feel fulfilled and like it's a good place for me to be myself. And I've gotten good feedback on it. So I was just like, I just want to do it. And then it happened. I kind of just told them to give it to me.
Yeah, you told them and then it happened.
I'm not
that
even
way.
joking. I heard they were looking for someone. I probably shouldn't say this, but I heard that they were looking for a morning show on Comedy Central Radio. And I called the guy and just to talk about the opportunity. And he was like, we have a couple people that and I just go, I'll do it. And he was like, yeah, there's a list of people. And I go, there shouldn't be. Like,
Right.
I'm good at this and I want to do it and I'm going to do it. And he was like, he was like laughing, like, I like your moxie, but we'll see. And then I realized like that kind of attitude works.
Yes. It's worked for Trump. That's how Trump
I know.
became.
Maybe that was what inspired it. But no, I think it was just knowing that I would be, I've reached a point where I'm tired of being insecure about my talents or thinking I'm not good enough for things. And I think that was so much of my career coming up. And that when you reach the age of 33 as a woman, you're just like, okay, I know what I'm good at. And I know I do a good job. So give it to me.
Yeah. You're also very comfortable giving advice to people and then not seeing how that advice works out. You know what I mean? You just say, here, do this
Oh my God,
with the rest
so
of your
true.
life.
Yeah.
But we never come back like a year
very
later.
confident about the advice I give.
Yeah. And then like a year later, like, did that work out? No, it didn't.
Probably not.
No, right.
No, because no one follows advice is the real thing. No one really, these advice shows, you give them advice. No one actually does it. But sometimes, but I feel like I like giving advice because I like taking advice. I'm not one of these people who looks for a therapist who's just going to go like, well, now what do you think you might do in that? I want them to like literally tell me what I should do. My old therapist, I would just take out my phone and she'd be like, text exactly what I'm about to tell you to text. And I just start writing what she would say. I like being told what to do, so I kind of do that to people.
You would be perfect to be in a cult. That would be that would be the thing for you.
I don't know how it hasn't happened yet. Yeah. I really do like being told what to do. It just takes it. There's so many choices to make in life, and I want someone else to make them for me.
Well, what has been a log jam for you? What has been a place that you got to that you felt like you couldn't make an immediate decision on?
Oh man, all the time. You know, I make decisions and then I instantly regret them. So I think that that's something I do a lot of. I think, I get excited about a project and then the second that I think about something else, I want to go do that project and I forget about that project. So I think that I think just self-doubt gets in my way. Just being like, I don't deserve this and I'm not good enough for this. And I convince myself by going to other people's Instagrams that they're prettier and smarter and funnier than me and more successful. And that I've joked myself. This is another thing my therapist always used to say, because I think a lot of comedians, you've probably heard this on this show before, is that you just feel like you're tricking people. Like you feel like you're a fraud, that I've got this far because I've tricked people.
I've only heard that from women. Men will say, I feel like I didn't get as much as I deserve.
Oh, that's so true.
Jeff Garland said to me not too long ago, because I know him many years ago, and he was like, weren't you surprised that I didn't become the biggest comic in the whole world? And I said, no. He was so crazy when he was young. I didn't know if he'd make a living, right? He used to walk audiences, and yet his confidence is something. And I notice a lot of women, no matter how big they get,
they still feel like somehow they've outsmarted people and that I'm really not as talented as I've convinced people I am. And I remember saying this to my therapist, and I often say this to myself and to other women. Now that you mention it, it is all women. Yes, all women. That she goes, do you really think you're that good at like tricking people? Like, do you really think people are that dumb? So she flipped it around and made me feel like, to think that you've tricked the system and fooled people into thinking you're talented, you're really thinking they're stupid. So then that makes you go, okay, people aren't stupid. I am talented. And then so I have to tell myself that sometimes. But like I said, the older I get, the more confident I become. But it is a constant struggle being a woman to be confident.
You know what's really funny, and I discussed this with someone not too long ago, I've always thought that you were an edgier comic than you get credit for being, because I think a lot of comics that think they work the edge, you can feel the shock jock stuff coming in where I'm trying to shock the audience. But your stuff, your curiosity goes to a place that makes people naturally more uncomfortable.
Thank you.
I thought your TV show was so uncomfortable the entire time I watched it.
Yeah, that means you're doing something right. Like just listening any kind of, you know, I don't like to get groans when I'm on stage, or to have like some girl just go, ew. That used to happen a lot. And I don't like that you were terribly, like Nathan For You, I can't ever, sometimes I have to turn it off because it makes me so uncomfortable, but I also recognize that it's like the most brilliant thing on TV. So I do take that as a compliment that you were uncomfortable, but that's not my goal. I think that I think I was blessed with having zero boundaries when it comes to sex and just things about my personal life that I shouldn't share. I just don't have a problem sharing, and it's not something that I've had to work at cultivating. It's just, I just don't have those boundaries, and thank God for that, because that's where a lot of this comes from.
Sure. But I think that is what the edginess is, because I think most of us are dishonest most of the time, you know, and you're willing to say, I don't know, tell me about this, or why does this happen, or do you do this too? And sometimes I'll just go, no, stop.
Yeah,
Just stop.
That's my interest in sex, is that like we're all doing it and we're all thinking about it, but no one, like, we just act like we put on clothes and then we're like, I didn't just go like, thank you. We're all making we're disgusting.
Yeah.
So we're doing the most disgusting faces and noises, and our skin's just shaking, and we're just animals. And then we like put on a fucking jacket and we're like, I've never done that in my life. Like, we don't talk about it, and we don't talk about that. Like, talking about porn on stage is so fascinating to me, because I just kind of started watching porn, and so it's opened up this whole new part of my set where I'm just like, we're all watching this. I mean, there's no one who's not. Even if you're not watching it, you're still like kind of curious, and once in a while check in on it. But no one's talking about it regularly, and I think that's just so crazy that we all have this like private part of our lives where we feel alone in whatever we're into, and we feel shame about it. It's mostly just shame that I'm trying to alleviate like people of, because I felt so much shame growing up, and the more that I hear comedians say things where I go, oh my God, me too. Well, not me too, you know what I'm saying, but like it makes me feel, I just want people to feel less alone.
Well, you know, I mean, porn that you could watch at home is still a reasonably new thing. It's only 30, 40. But if you go back to the 70s and 80s in New York, Times Square was for porn. Yeah. And horrible, scary, disgusting people would go, and you were able to say, oh, that's not me. And now it's on your phone, so it's everyone. But I still think we think of it as disgusting, horrible shit. So you think it's your little secret.
And it's so fun to talk about on stage, because everyone laughs like it's, you know, I was watching that an hour ago. Yeah. There's this familiarity, but everyone's also like, but no one's talking about it. But you're right. I think there's still just so much shame about it. And like, you're a dirty person if you go to this, but there's millions of views on these things. Yes. You're not the only one watching it.
There's a lot more people going there than HuffPo, but they're not, you know, no one ever sits around at the party and go, so something really interesting on Pornhub today.
And we should. Yeah. You're so right.
Yeah.
But that really should be the dialogue.
You would think, but if someone brought it up, most of us would go, I don't even know what that place is.
No, I don't.
Because we're Puritans in a weird way. Yeah. But we're like pervert Puritans.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I'm a total perv, and I think that if we were all so free about it, I would be a little bit like, ugh, stop. Like, I like the fact that it's a little bit naughty to talk about.
You got to keep it taboo to be excited and to be exciting for people to go, oh, I'm doing this thing I shouldn't be doing.
Yes,
that's great. And I say that, you know, my entire generation is coming down one guy at a time, right? We have proven just how fucking, no matter where we were in any industry, we've just really misbehaved, and no one has called us on it. And that's sad that that's now coming out to light, because I really miss it being white guy time. It was really nice. It was nice for the last
good run.
6,000 years.
Yeah.
6,000 years. Anything we wanted, we did until 3 months ago.
Yeah. Listen, You guys are still gonna get away with quite a lot.
Thank you.
You really are.
I hope everything you sing is right.
I'm not gonna tell because I don't have 7 other women to corroborate it.
Right.
Because that's what you need now. You need a softball team of women who this same guy is jerked off in front of.
Right.
Or otherwise you're just trying to ruin his career, whatever, and it's not worth it. But yeah, every single woman has put up with some kind of bullshit like that. And in comedy especially, let me say this about being a woman in comedy. It's like, I've benefited from being a woman in comedy because there's less of us, and that's been a good thing at times, I have to admit, because there's people go, oh, women aren't funny, you're the one of so few, and it's just because I have a whole theory about that, and I'm going to get in trouble for even saying that and not explaining it, so let me get back to that. But let me just say, as a woman in comedy, you have to be cool all the time, and if you're not cool, if you go, hey, don't fucking touch me like that, or don't say something disgusting like that, I was just being funny. Why are you? So you're not funny. And then you're not funny. And women in comedy are constantly feeling threatened by the fact that they're not funny enough. So you gotta be so much cooler than even other industries. Like there's a precedent that you have to put up with this kind of locker room.
So you feel like you've done that many, many times. Stayed quiet about things that are inappropriate, and that's why I want to drive you home today because you're so cool. But there is truth to that whatever these tables are where comedians hang out, they'll say, well, she's able to hang with us.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
cool.
We can list, you and I could list the girls that are good hangs.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that put up with this kind of stuff. And listen, there's a lot of stuff I put up with that other women wouldn't put up with because I'm just not offended by it, and other women would be. So it's every situation's different. I don't think that there's like you can just say a blanket. Like that's the thing that's coming up right now is like every guy's like, well, no, I can't even hug a woman without. It's like, no, if you're being a creep. I'm just so sick of these guys. Now everyone's being like, you can't even compliment a woman on her scarf. And it's like, oh, really? Is anyone being taken down for complimenting a scarf? Stop acting so victimized, you fucking creep. I'm just like, there's a couple dudes that made comments after the whole thing happened was just like, their first question was, do you think they'll ever forgive Louis? That was their first one. Like, when do you think he'll be back? And I'm like, you've got stories against you. You're already planning, like, when can I come back? Like, that's what they want to know. That's what they're worried about.
I think every human male in America is thinking of some kind of defense right now.
Yeah. And you all don't have to. Here's my thing about everyone that's come out. Every name, aside from maybe Al Franken that I can think of, all the big names that have come out, they are assholes to men too in their lives, and not the same way, but these guys can't just contain their assholishness to hotel rooms with their bathrobes. They are monsters to work with for everyone. And so we should all kind of look at who those people are, because this is precedented. Like the people whose names have come out, I'm not going to list them all, but there's as soon as these stories came out, men I would hear say, "Oh, I worked with him on this show. He was a monster."
Right.
So nice guys aren't doing this to women.
But it's a good point because everyone knew that Harvey was an anger freak and threw stuff at people.
Yeah.
But
Matt Lauer,
right?
He did Ann Curry, Charlie Rose. There's precedent on that too, of him not being that pleasant to work with. None of these guys are shocking if you really look at how they treat everyone.
But do you think that for some reason we need that Harvey Weinstein guy in our lives if we want our careers to move forward? Like there's been plenty of people that have let him play that bad guy. And I don't mean the sexual stuff. I mean all the other shit that he's done. And we kind of try to get behind the wake if that's our manager, our agent, or someone producing something for us.
Yeah, I mean, those people make things happen.
Yeah.
Fear is an amazing tactic in this business. It's so powerful, and it's going to keep working. And those guys are just going to have to pay off more people. But yeah, those people are going to. It's infectious to work with someone you're scared of, whether they just you're scared of their confidence or you're literally scared of them. Those people are psychopaths that are the head of corporations. That's how they get there.
And when you went into comedy, you knew at a very early age, I'm going to have to work with some of these people, and how do I move in and out of this world?
I mean, I worked with some creeps early on, but I never was I've been in a couple positions where I felt weird and awkward. It's never been something that I'm like, it's just part of the job and you just got to do it. I think it's just part of being a person, is you're going to deal with these people. And I don't think I've never like thought of. I rarely think of myself as like a female comic, I have to say. Like I rarely, and more so now I do, and I'm proud to say I'm a female comic, but I've always just felt like a comic. And I think now that this stuff is coming out, it's like dividing us a little bit, but I'm okay with that because I'm proud to be a woman doing this. Well, and let me just say my thing about women doing comedy. I think women aren't funny, and I'm saying quotations for that, because you develop your sense of humor at an early age, like pretty much right out of the gate. And when you're a kid, what's funny to you? Poops and fart, right? That's like the funniest thing when you're a little kid is poops and farts. And little girls making those jokes is so inappropriate. I mean, I remember just being shamed by every adult. Like, girls don't talk that way, but boys poops and fart. You go... Yeah, that's silly. Right. We laugh. And so boys from the get-go are positively reinforced to make jokes because the whole basis for their sense of humor is that it's okay for them to talk about. But girls can't talk about poops and farts. And then until I saw Sarah Silverman do it, and I go, okay, it's back. I can do it. Yeah. And that really was like seeing her. I was like, oh my God, you can be like a girl and be feminine and make fart jokes.
Well, I think a lot of it comes from... in school, the funny kid is always the kid in trouble. And that's also a different thing for a little girl getting in trouble. Yeah, to be in trouble is different. Yeah.
It is different. I remember the girl who won for like our senior superlatives, the funniest girl. And I remember I was not even close to getting that, but I paid attention to it because I was like, I could maybe get it. She was not funny. She just had the biggest boobs, and so when she would laugh or do anything, her boobs would just go everywhere. And so she got funniest because she would just be like roughhousing with the guys, and her boobs would go in different directions. And I just remember they just liked watching her boobs jiggle. Yeah, because she was not funny.
Right.
There were way funny girls that she was friends with, but they just didn't have those kind of tits.
But she was
hilarious
fun.
Tits.
She was fun. Yeah,
she was fun.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
So what did it take for you to get on stage the first time? Was that a big deal?
Padded bra.
Was it a big deal for you to say, let me walk on the stage? Because I always think for actual funny people, the first time getting up there is more difficult than it is for non-funny people.
Yeah, because you know that you have it in you, and you know that everything's riding on it, and if you let yourself down... And so much pressure is on yourself to be as funny as you know you are, that if you fail, then you're like, my dream is dead. I think that's true. The first time I went on stage, I didn't sleep the 24 hours before. I was so nervous. I was in college. It was my freshman year, and my friends, it was the first time in my life people had told me you should be a comedian. And I was so directionless at that point that I was like, okay, I'll try this. And that's when I Googled it and saw Sarah Silverman, and I was like, yes, I want to just be her. So I just wrote a bunch of jokes in her voice. And then, literally, what would Sarah Silverman say? Because I was a virgin. I had no experience of life of any kind. So I just wrote a bunch of jokes like she would write about abortions. And then I literally, that was my whole act. And then I went on stage, and I thought I did 20 minutes, and I'm sure it was 2.5, but I killed. And thank God for that. But I literally walked off stage, and it was out of a movie, because I called my dad. And I was crying, and my friend had held the phone during my set so my dad could hear, because I was in Colorado on campus. And I called him, and I remember you remember what you're staring at when you say something. I remember staring at these stairs and just being on these stairs and crying and being like, I know what I want to do with my life. I remember saying that. And I'm I'm going to drop out of school. And he was like, finish school. But this is so exciting. And then I went home for summer break, and my dad took me to the open mic at the club. And I watched the open mic, and then I started took the comedy class there, and then.
That's amazing that you had that relationship with your dad, though.
My parents really, I'm almost angry at how supportive they are, because you want that story of like, people said I couldn't do it, but they said I could do it the whole time. And they, my mom wanted me to get a degree and was like, you'll make a great English teacher. And she really wanted that life for me if this didn't work out. But, they were really, really supportive and always have been, and watch everything I do. And I'm just like, thank God for that, because they screwed me up in other ways, but in that way, they have nailed it since then.
By the way, as soon as you said she wanted you to be an English teacher, I couldn't think of a more horrifying life. Could you? It just seems like talking to a bunch of people who don't want this information.
I was one for a summer, and it was hell. It was awful. And it's just, I'm not one of those teachers that's like, I'm going to get through to you. Like, I just was like, I give up. Then be dumb. I literally said that. I was like, you guys just be dumb then. I was so angry. My sister's a teacher, and I really do think it's the hardest job because it's thankless and you have so much work to do outside of it. And it's so hard. And parents now think their kids are like, it used to be like, do your homework. And now it's like, why are you giving him so much homework? It's really a hard job. And thank God I don't do it.
I know how quick I'd be. I'll kill a kid. I will fuck a kid up in front of all of his friends.
I would fuck a kid. I swear to God, I was teaching high school, and there were a couple boys that would like flirt with me. They were just like charismatic kids. And I was like, uh-oh. Like, I wasn't like gonna do anything, but I could see how it happens. I could see how it happens.
I like to see the people who laugh compared to the people who are horrified. It's very interesting to get things from your view.
No, you don't do anything about it, but you go, oh, this is how it starts.
You don't do anything about it this year, but if that was your world for a couple of years, and you're in a marriage where you hate your husband and you never were popular in high school, and suddenly the most popular boy is into you. It's very. I know this sounds crazy, but you weren't there. You didn't see the way Dennis talked to me. That was his real name. That's even worse.
I'm a real creep.
So, this is probably the only route that you could have taken to success. You were not going to fit in.
I literally, thank you for saying that. That really, honestly, I appreciate that, because I wanted, in high school and middle school, I wanted to be an actress. And then I realized I just didn't have, you have to like really work at it to be good at it. There are so few people who are just naturally good actors. It's a fucking skill that you need to craft. And so I realized I tried out for theater school, didn't get into any schools, and then I kind of got into some theater classes freshman year of college, and I was like, this is not for me. It's just like people talking too loudly and doing monologues into the wall. Like, I was just like, this isn't for me. And so I was like, I remember I didn't even think comedy was a path, and I realized, like, I knew I wanted to be like a performer, so acting to me was like the only thing that I could do. So I remember just realizing I wasn't going to be an actress and being like, well, I'll just kill myself someday. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I was just like, I'm probably going to kill myself, because I'm not going to go be a mom. I'm not going to be a teacher. I don't want to if I can't perform, I just want to die. And at this time in my life, I was also like deeply anorexic and on the verge of death anyway. So my life was just completely hell. But I do remember thinking, like, if I can't be, if I can't perform, if I can't be an entertainer, and I can't sing, I can't dance, and I can't really act, then I'll just someday, not today, but someday I'll figure out a way to like end it all.
But that gave you comfort. That made you feel like, okay,
there's an out. I'm still like a person who has those thoughts.
Right.
That, I'm never going to do it, because you have to clean your room first before you kill yourself.
Yeah.
You have to. Don't make your mom do that when she comes to collect you. So she's already going through enough. And, and my room's always a mess. And so, especially when I'm depressed. So it's like the last thing I want to do. So that really prevents me from killing myself. And I've had depression for long enough that I know, like, the thought has crossed my mind, and I just know the devastation it brings to people. So
sure.
I also wouldn't do it for that too. Yeah. And because I'm a pussy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry to get so weird suddenly, but like this is the thing that where I don't have a filter. Like these are things I shouldn't say because someday they'll play them when I like have an accidental death and they'll be like, "Was it?"
Yeah. There's somebody who said I could have stopped you. I'll be that guy. Like, hey, I thought she was fucking around. I didn't know.
Well, I talk about this openly with my friends, and I always tell them, "Don't worry, I won't do it without telling you, so that you can put me somewhere." Because I've been I've been suicidal before. I was in a psych ward before when I had anorexia. It was not me who put myself in there or my parents. It was the fucking state, and it's, I don't want to go back to that, but I would go back to it because it's like you're protected from hurting yourself anymore.
Right.
And so when I have those kind of thoughts, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just tell a friend and I'll end up there.
Yeah. Now, you talk about your friends. Do you only hang out with comedians or do you have friends from all different walks of life?
I still have friends from high school, but most of my friends are comedians. Yeah. Yeah, but I attract people from I think that there are like comics who just didn't discover stand up all around us.
Right. So, but you got to be with funny people for
funny
friendship.
And honest, I think is the main thing. But yeah, like I don't know. I need people who get it. I need people who at least know why what I just said was funny.
Yes, exactly.
You know, they don't need to make me laugh, but they need to be able to laugh at me.
No one ever considers that a sense of humor, but that is what comedians are after all the time.
Just someone who fucking gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll be happy enough with that.
Yeah.
So are you at a point now in your career where you're comfortable with everything? Or is there like big goals that you feel like you need?
No, I feel now this is gonna. You guys are gonna be like, she just said she's achieved enough. She's gonna go any day now. No, I feel like I've wanted to do all I came here to do.
Yeah.
No, this is turning into the darkest fucking thing. Okay, I've never operated on goals. I don't know. Like I said, I kind of manifested this radio show into happening because it was the first time ever that I go, I want that and I'm going to get it. But if I did die tomorrow, I'd be like, good. I did it. Like I have people who are fans of mine. I feel like I've put out a body of work that I can stand behind. And if I do die tomorrow, please check my voice memos in my phone because I have like 600 sets on there and someone can make some money off of like unreleased tapes.
Okay.
I'm just saying that. I mean, it'll all be in the note I leave.
Yeah.
But in case, these are all jokes.
Yeah.
No, but I always tell my mom that I'm like, if I get hit by a car or something, like check my voice memos because there's so much unreleased stuff. So I have goals of like putting out more specials.
Well, yeah, your goals are to be Bill Hicks. Like after you're dead, oh my God, we missed a genius. We had a genius here.
We never saw her age.
Just sexy pictures for the rest of eternity.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you want. No, that is a thing though. I mean, like aging in this business is not fun. And thank God I am, that's my best friend laughing. Thank God I have other things besides just I can be, and thank God I'm funny.
Yeah.
Like this celebrity guy that is like so hot and way out of my league was like really fascinated by me the other day. And I was like, why is he talking to me? Like literally only dates supermodels. But I go, oh my God, my funniness elevates me. Up like 3 points. And I've never really experienced that before until the other day. And I was like, my personality is like a Giselle.
Yeah.
Like I really do. I have the Giselle Bundchen of personalities.
But again, that is something that guys know immediately, right? Like every dude knows, like, hey, I'm a funny guy. I should be with the hottest woman.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And women are like, I'm funny, and then I go back to my motel room and write more. You're just like, that isn't why you do this.
It isn't. Yeah, you do it to get laid. Yeah, I think I'm just now reaching a age range of men. Like I'm not going for men in their 20s anymore because I'm 33. Like
you're like 14. You explain that.
So I'm going for older men, and I think older men appreciate an intelligent, funny woman more so than men I had encountered coming up in comedy who didn't give two shits about whether I was funny or not, you know? And I think now it's paying off, baby.
Yeah. But also I think when people are more comfortable with themselves, everyone else gets comfortable too.
Yes.
The energy that a lot of young people give off is exhausting.
It sucks that your hotness and your level of liking yourself are opposite on the graph.
Yeah.
Because it would be really good to line those two up. You'd be firing on all cylinders, but it's not the way it works.
It doesn't work that way for some reason. When we're at our stupidest, everyone's like physically attractive.
Yes. Yes. And I guess thank God for that, because I do look at young girls and I'm just like, I don't want to be back in that. It was kind of hell. It's still kind of hell.
Yeah, it's a hard race to run. You're running that race every single
I just took Instagram off my phone. I just can't take hot people anymore.
Right.
And I'm not a bad looking lady, but I just can't. I can really make myself. It's like cutting looking at Instagram sometimes. You can really just get yourself into a rut. And I think it's really healthy to cut hot people out of your life to cut. That too.
Well, it relieves that stress, that pressure. Oh, God, that feels good. My thighs. All I can think about is how much my thighs hurt right now from slicing them. I don't know if I need a
way
stitch.
too much about this.
Well, I've talked people into it, but I'll just give it a nick. See what happens. Crazy. Yeah. Crazy. One of the uncomfortable things from your show is when you would put your friends on a lie detector and then also your parents on a lie detector. And I thought, what kind of person would do this?
Someone who is talked into it by her writing staff. Weeks before, and it doesn't seem like it would ever really happen. And then you get there the day of the taping and you're sitting across from your dad and you're looking at the questions in front of you. And I rarely get uncomfortable doing stuff like it. It takes a lot. And that was really hard to hear my dad say that he's heard me have sex. Like that was, I hate it even now saying it. It's so gross to me. So it was really, like I said, I lucked out with those two. They were so cool and so funny on my show. And my mom has a segment on my new show where she calls in and just gives us celebrity gossip, which she just like has a vague understanding of. And they're just so funny and cool. But I don't know why I did that, because I get talked into it by people who go, Nikki, it's going to be funny. Like I did a segment on my show and someone just this past weekend was like, I loved that segment where, you guys redid guys' dick pics, and we put their dicks in these we made dioramas, and we had holes in the dioramas, and so the dick would look like it's like in a bath with little cucumber glass like things on. But okay, so the night before we went and filmed that, we had all these dioramas, and the art department was like, well, how are the dicks going to get in? Because some of these holes are kind of precarious, and you would need to like, your whole hand can't go around the diorama to pull your dick through. So these men will need help. And my showrunner, I remember, was just like, well, you guys are going to do it. And they were like, that is not part of our job. We're not doing it. And so I was like, I mean, I guess I'll do it. And it took it to a whole new level of disturbing that I didn't even think. And these guys were some of the guys who volunteer via Craigslist to be on TV, putting their dicks in dioramas, are weirdos.
Are they? Are they odd?
But they were so weird. And they would like give too much eye contact while I was doing it. And there was one guy that was a porn star that was like just very proud, and they were all warming themselves up, you know? And so it was the grossest day. We came home from that day, like we came back from that shoot, and the whole staff was just like traumatized. Like it was really like we had been through a trauma together. And in one scene, you can even see it in the, I go, I'm a doctor, because I just had to feel like I had to hold a dick and put little cucumbers on this dick. And I had to put a shower cap on it. It was so insane.
Show business. That's show business.
But this is all just on paper. It sounds so goddamn funny. And then you do it and you're like, I'm handling dicks. Like when in my life did I think they was, and then there was, we did a video where I went to a foot fetish party, and for the sake of humor, I gave a guy my foot and let him massage it, and he got a boner during it. And
slowly,
yes.
Yeah, it didn't happen
he was
immediately.
like, I'm getting excited. Yes, very, very slowly. And I was just like, we're done here. Like it, but I didn't see that coming.
But were there?
I should have.
Was that your feet that you were showing on?
Yeah, those were. That was the bravest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it really was.
I don't care. My feet are really, really gnarled, and I'm going to get them worked on right after this. I'm so excited. I have bunions that make my feet look like they're like just Google Nikki Glaser feet, and you will be. Oh, it's so gross. So I have really bad bunions. So it felt really good to have the massage, but that guy got turned on by them, and that was the bravest thing I've done, was showing my feet on TV.
Particularly, it's one thing to show it on TV, another thing to show it to people who judge feet.
Yeah,
you know
that guy was really grossed out by them.
And he was just like,
he was horrified.
Ooh, and that was the strangest part of
that guy was, but there's some guys who are foot fetish guys who are into bunions, and that's...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, sure.
I get them every time I do a video on Instagram or a live thing. There's always these guys that come into the chat being like, show us your bunions, and they write it, they're like, oh, give me those bunions, and I'm like, what freak?
I always say there's someone out there for you. You just keep looking.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I would love a guy who gets off on my gnarled vulture toes.
But that kind of stuff, again, funny on paper, but then you have to do it. You have to put it on TV.
And that's the thing about TV is there's so much money and production and people that are working behind this idea. So you feel a certain pressure to do it. It's like when you're, we've recently been hearing a lot about women who have sex that they don't necessarily want to have because they've gone through the whole night and you bought the dinner and now you're naked with them and you're like, it's too much to get out of this, so I'll just do it.
Yeah.
And that's how it feels sometimes doing stuff for my own show. There was we've spent too much money at this point, and I need to go through with it for the greater good. And that's why I love stand up, is because it's up to me, and no one else is no one else has sacrificed anything for me to tell a joke. Right.
And also with stand up, it doesn't hang around forever. You could try something without it being there forever.
And that's the thing about podcasts and radio, and I do worry about that. I need to make a list of things I will and will not say so that I really stick to it, because that's the danger of being on air for 2 hours a day, is just saying things you regret. I've already said things I regret during this.
Sure.
That will come back to haunt me. And I'm already God damn it.
Yeah. We're going to edit this. We'll give it to your lawyer. Go through everything
that's
that
too
you
laborious,
need to do.
and then I'll just want to chop it up to death. So I just do it.
That is the key, is don't listen to your old shows and don't read the internet about what people think.
I never do.
You're free.
I don't read a single. So you miss all the good stuff, but but even the good stuff, you can find problems with it.
Right.
Where it's they just people saying I thought you were really great. And you're like, well, did you have to say I thought?
Yeah, right.
Other people didn't. That's what people love to say after shows. The table in front of us were horrified.
Yeah.
You should have we were watching this woman the whole time because she hated you.
Yeah.
But we loved it. It was just that now I can only think about that woman.
Well, I get that way here. There's so much of the room laughing, but a certain part there's I don't know.
Yeah.
And I keep I look over, I'm like, I think she's doing well. No, not at all. Okay, we'll keep swinging.
No,
we'll keep trying.
I'm always aware of who's not laughing, but I never. People's a lot of times comics are like, oh, did you see that woman? And she just stared the whole time. And I try to just like block them out, because if I stare at them, then I feel like they feel pressure to laugh. And sometimes you just don't want to laugh. And sometimes you are having a good time and you just don't know.
Don't show it.
You're Russian or something. I don't know what your thing is.
That would be great. You're probably a Russian. That's what it is. I've figured it out now. There's a Russian here, which is great. We're all coming together. But you have no plans on slowing down on the stand-up because you're committing to 10 hours a week of radio?
No, that's why I moved to New York, was because I was going to do the show in LA, and it had me being on air at 7 a.m. and I was like, well, then I won't do stand up at night. So I moved here.
You moved to sleep in 3 extra hours.
I literally did. So I could do stand up at night. Thank you.
You know what is funny? Like, to most people, moving would be this traumatic thing to happen.
Yeah.
But for you, the sleep was
so worth it. It was a no-brainer. As soon as I figured out the time change, and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Would you guys be okay with me doing it in New York? And they were like, yeah, we'd love it. And I was like, done. And so I was so excited. It was such a traumatic move.
I think of you as more of a New York comic
Thank you.
than an LA comic.
Yeah, I found my rhythm in LA, and I was like, a lot of people say you can't find stage time. I'm lucky enough to be at a point in my career where I can get on stage when I need to. And so I really do like the LA scene, but here it's just, I think you get better faster because everyone here is so goddamn good and working so hard and hustling. And there you can kind of just like, I'm just going to mess around on stage. Here you're like, oh, I got to have jokes.
Right.
So you're forced to just write a lot and do it a lot. And I'm addicted to it. Like, I won't ever stop, not because sometimes I hate it and I still do it. But
it is
I love
funny because people go, oh, you should fool around on stage. But you went on a Wednesday and you're following, I don't know, Keith Robinson or something.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm not going to look embarrassing.
Exactly. No, you following Dave Attell or Keith or Greer or, just these legends. You can't let down your guard. And that's what makes you better that's why I bring out my co-host, who's going to be on my co-host for You Up, my radio show, is Tom Takar. And he's a young comic I've brought on the road with me for 5 years now. And he's so good. He's hard to follow. And that's what I like him, because first of all, the audience is going to see a great show, and because it makes me want to work harder. So,
well, we were also talking about like the thing of women comics, and it is because it is harder to go out on the road as a single person for a woman, because just the natural physical dangers of the planet.
Yeah.
But
the planet.
I don't want to just blame it on America.
The tundra is just more difficult
but,
for a woman.
It was like, a woman wouldn't be traveling west in the old fucking West State, you know what I mean?
No,
and
it is.
Still
I don't
dangerous.
know any other experience, so for me, it's just like, it is what it is, you know? So I don't know that it's harder, or I don't know what a man's experience on the road is, but I do know that I would, just a thing to put out there, I would like to be walked to my car a little bit more, and walked to my condo or my hotel a little bit more. People like to just think you're just, it's not a bad thing to assume a woman wants some company to get from point A to point B. And I feel like, as someone who's been on the road a lot, like, that is often overlooked as a comic. But I don't know any other experience, and I don't drink anymore, so that cuts down on my the threat out there, because I think that I would often end up in situations and at people's houses and out with the wait staff where I didn't know anyone, and I don't know what part of town we're in. And now I just go to bed after shows and eat in bed.
But back then,
a lot of food in bed. It's my drug.
But back then, you'd be like, hey, this is great, we're partying, and all of a sudden, oh, this is weird.
Yeah, you end up in some places. One time I was in Tampa, and this girl's dog attacked me and, like, bit my face, and she was angry at me about it. And then she was a waitress there, and then the rest of the week she wouldn't talk to me, and it was just stuff like that happens where you get bit in the face by a server's dog.
You know what's funny is, like, anytime that you hear an edgy, weird story, Tampa is the location. There's not a time that it isn't Tampa.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird there.
Yeah. And people are like, I was at this white supremacist party. You just go, Tampa? Tampa, right?
You were there? And you go, no, I just know it's Tampa.
That could be literally a game show of like shit that happened in Tampa.
Yeah. It's Florida, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, but so beautiful.
It is.
It is so beautiful.
On the edges. On the edges.
Yeah.
As long as you can see the water, you're like, this is great.
Yeah, it is.
As soon as you get inland, any amount of time, like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play a lot there.
Do you?
Great people.
Yeah.
No, I've played a lot there recently, and they were fun shows. But yeah, it's that just getting that has really made it less exciting and less threatening on the road, is just being sober.
Yeah. Now, did you give it up for a reason, or did you think?
I gave it up because the hangovers were so terrible that I wasn't able to function, and all the people whose careers I was like, I wish I had that, or I want that for myself. They were all people who had gotten sober. So I was like, there's something to that gives them an edge.
But I agree with you. I think it's better to have gotten sober than to always been sober.
Yeah.
I despise those people.
I mean,
I like people who are like, I should be dead right now, but I'm doing well because I quit.
I know. I'm friends with a lot of people who've just always been sober for whatever reason, religion, or just not being able to let go. But it's definitely a control thing, and it says a lot about a person when they've never done anything.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm keeping my eye on you.
Yeah.
And they're usually like a dry drunk, where it's like they act like an alcoholic, but they aren't one.
That is true,
They just haven't ever had the sauce, but they would be a monster if they did.
By the way, that's one of my favorite things is when you change into that tonality right there.
Thank you.
That will make me laugh 100% of the time.
Oh my God, I didn't even know I did it.
Yeah, you do it every once in a while. You're just like, give it to me. And I'm just like, where did that come from? So you're going to keep your weekends free to hit the road and do stuff that still plan specials. So
yes, it won't stop coming. Yeah.
So you'll never have a day off from this point on.
I really don't take days off. I was just talking to my friend about that. I was like, I need on days where I travel. Like I had a terrible travel day yesterday that was supposed to be 3 hours. It turned into 9. Yeah. And I had sets last night and I canceled them, but I felt bad about canceling them. So I just need to but I need to be doing it every night, because what else do you do then?
Sure. But you know what? This is a good point, is like, as much as everyone wants to travel, any kind of traveling is horrible.
Oh, it's so...
trains fall off the tracks now. There's nothing but discomfort before you get to that place that you want to be.
When I see families or old people traveling, I'm just like, no, why? If I had families, I'd be like, people are coming to us, and when I get old, people are going to come to me, because traveling is so hard with youngsters, or when you're just older and you just don't like.
Everything hurts while you're
and then you have to take off your shoes. It's awful.
Maybe it'll be the virtual reality thing where you'll just put on a helmet someday.
We will get to that by the time I'm old.
Then you're Hawaii.
Yes.
Then you're Hawaii. So you brought up like people that you said they were sober because, and then you thought you wanted to be. But is there a class of people that you kind of see yourself traveling through this business with? Is there certain people that you're like, these are my actual peers?
Yeah, I feel like there's I don't know, it changes though, but I think that there's probably like 50 people I could name that I feel like those are my peers. And some of them are as successful as Amy Schumer and as unsuccessful. I'm not going to name that person, but you know what I'm saying?
You know what? I will, because he's here. Pete Lee, everybody. Pete Lee is here. And I mean, everybody wants to be more Amy than Pete, but we might have more Pete in ourselves than we know.
No, it's I've like across the board, but like I feel like my main I met Amy and Rachel Feinstein and Lizzie Cooperman, and I have like a group of really strong female comic friends, Sabrina Jalise, who I met early on, like on MySpace. Amy and I met each other, and so it's cool to see some friends become Amy's and some friends become Pete's.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just laughing because Pete Lee is very accomplished.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He goes on the Tonight Show and they dive at him. There's so
It
the
was
audience
insane.
is so,
It's so gross.
It was, yeah.
It made me angry.
Yeah.
The way he killed it made me like
just see
furious.
the entire audience explode, jumping up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. He is hosting the Tonight Show now.
Yeah, see,
they gave it to him.
Jimmy is not feeling well
after seeing Pete kill so hard in his own room,
and made it look easy. That's what was hard for him. But that is also that can be brutal to have that kind of fast moving, class of people. You're like, oh, they just keep going and going.
Yeah, that was, I get asked about that a lot with Amy, especially because people know we're friends because I tell people all the time and I just remind people. One time, I literally do this a lot though in LA. So there's those TMZ tour buses that are just looking for celebrities. And sometimes I'll just wave and tell them my credits because I'm like, it's something. Those people might not see anyone and I'm someone, If
you yell out your credits.
I really will because I just want them to feel like they walked away from that tour with something because if I would have come to LA with my family and gone on one of those star tours, at least I would have been excited about someone of my caliber.
Yeah.
Not that I think that I'm anyone, but it's just something to give them. But one time I was shooting on the street, I was shooting a man on the street thing for my show and the tour bus came up and they go, I go, I'm famous. And they go, who are you? And I go, I'm friends with Amy Schumer. Click. They all started taking pictures. It was the most famous I've ever felt. But I will say that it is it's not that I've never felt jealousy or envy or I don't know the difference between those, so I just throw them both in. I know that there is a difference, but I'm not going to look it up. And and I feel that for so many people, mainly women, because we're pitted against each other, and I freak out about who's getting what and why do they get this and I'm not getting this. But with Amy, it's never felt that way because she's so generous and has also she's paid it forward to so many people, including myself, that that's cliche of her success is my success. Legit is my success. Sometimes people bring me up on shows because I'll drop in on a show or something and they'll be like, we have a special guest coming up. You've seen her on Inside Amy Schumer and Trainwreck. And I'm like, people think Amy's here. I think Amy's here. All my credits are her credits. Oh my God. And then I get up there and they're like, what? And I go, I'm disappointed too, you guys. I thought she was here. So she's someone who I'm just it's been good to see a close friend who I came up with achieve that success because first of all, I see parts of it that I don't want in terms of being that famous. And so it kind of brings it to life a little bit more for me as opposed to just being wow, someday everyone will know my name and I can go anywhere and people want pictures. And it's that's kind of hell.
Right.
It's kind of, it's lonely. And not to say that she handles it so well, but I just look at that lifestyle and I think I don't know that I would be able to handle it that well. So I'm pretty comfortable with mine.
So this, because if you did have that kind of fame and things started to get rough, you could always kill yourself. And you've known that.
I do
for
know
a long
that.
time.
It's comforting.
You are so funny. Thank you so much for being here. Nikki Glaze here, everybody. Nikki!
Thank you for being here.
Yay! Thank you.